Okay, we're gonna go live right now. Here we go. What's your guys' favorite thing on the Taco Bell menu? Diarrhea.
All of it.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. No, what's it called?
What was that cheese wrap quesadilla thing? Whatever it was, Crunch Wrap?
The Crunch Wrap. Yeah. The Crunch Wrap. Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Dude, yeah, I haven't had that in forever, man. I used
Oh,
to just
really?
get the like dollar burritos that you had to find a public restroom as soon as you eat it.
Church. I
What's
got
the
you.
Chipotle? No. What's it called?
I love the fries, dude. The fries are so good. Derpy, what do you like? The fucking Crunch Wrap Supreme, or what is it? The Chipotle mayonnaise, or what is it?
No, I forget what it's called.
Either way, it's a good stomach detox.
Right.
It's a fucking good colon cleanse. Taco Bell, colon cleanse on the menu. What's up, everyone? Welcome back, Sunday night, Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy, Crispy, and I am joined here with the Last Relic and Derpy Entertainment. What's up, boys?
What's up, man?
What's up? Derpy, what's up?
The sky.
The sky. Yeah. Apparently a lot of sky in your area. So, guys, if you don't know, which you probably haven't because we just got on, Derpy's area is getting riddled with thunder and lightning right now. All right, Derpy. Is it a real crazy storm? Is it raining? Is it doing all that shit too, or is it just thunder and lightning?
Thunder and lightning on and off. It's on and off basically, but it's lightning, and I'm worried about it. So
guys, just in case Derpy gets cut, we at least know why. He's not just falling asleep at the wheel like he always does this time. He has a valid excuse. Valid excuse, dude.
For the first time?
For the first time. We got a reason. If he gets cut. But yeah. Boys, it's good to see you. I've had a crazy week myself, so it's good to be on here. Just gonna shoot the shit and talk, and we'll see what's up. We got a couple of things that happened, of course. Tragic news in reality. Chuck Norris, the living legend, has given death the permission to take himself. So Chuck Norris passed away at 86, boys. Where were you guys at when the news hit that Chuck Norris went away?
I was on YouTube, like just in people's live streams and stuff, like just chatting away.
Yeah.
And then I heard about it. I'm like, oh shoot,
that's crazy, dude.
I call my dad because he's a huge Bruce Lee fan.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first things he showed me in terms of like when YouTube launched. He's like, oh, I could search this stuff up.
Yeah,
look at this, because we couldn't find the DVD for their Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris fight.
Yeah.
And I eventually got him the whole collection. But yeah, like Chuck Norris. My favorite lore about Chuck Norris is that he actually loved the memes.
Oh, yeah.
You loved him. He loved them.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't though? Like, who wouldn't like that? Like at the time, I think Chuck Norris's show Walker Texas Ranger was like kind of like, like season 10, season 11. It wasn't like super crazy, like in the sense of like getting 1 million views or whatever. It was just a casual show that everyone liked.
I love that show.
Yeah. He was doing the, selling the Total Gym and just doing his shit that he always does. And then all of a sudden the next day someone comes in with like a check and they're like, here's $1 million. And he's like, the fuck did I do? And he's like, well, people are talking about how your beard like can fucking
it has a punch.
It has a fist behind it. Yeah. That you're the only man that can punch someone behind their face, and when you do push-ups you actually do earth downs. Like, you know what I mean? He just woke up one day and he was like the man of men.
Dude, you know what was cool? So he wanted to train jiu-jitsu with the Machado brothers, right?
Yeah, he did.
And they were here, and he would drive like an hour and a half away, and it was just like a mat in some gym, and he trained with him, right? Then he paid like purchased a location that was 5 minutes from his home for their first gym. That he like put just 1.5
Yeah,
million
yeah.
dollars down, and they were like that's where he started training jujitsu full time and like helped the Machado's brothers have like a foothold in
Yep.
California. So like he was also like just a really sweet and nice guy too. Like he was a killer, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah. He was a martial artist through and through, which I believe like the concept of legacy, I think we talked about this before, is very
Yeah.
important. And that to me is such a beautiful legacy to leave behind. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. I think it's so touching to understand that even Chuck Norris now at his age was still able to kind of like make such an impact in the world, like to be like a nice bright light to give people hope
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that. Like I remember we were watching well, I wasn't watching anything. I had just what is it? I had heard I was at the gym and I heard that he had got rushed to the hospital, and in my mind I was like, oh yeah, this is probably it. Like I don't think he's gonna come back from it, because usually someone would say like how he got hurt or what he did. Like it wouldn't be so like on the nose that this guy's going to the hospital or whatever. So yeah, I kind of knew something bad was gonna happen, and man, I don't know if that was a part that triggered my, because I was pretty bummed out yesterday. I think I told you about it, right?
Yeah.
And my dad is 78. So like I guess like and my mom, it's like Derpy and your dad, like my mom loved the Walker Texas Ranger shows and Chuck Norris and all that stuff. So like that I went to go visit my family like maybe like the day before I was bummed out, and I was talking to my mom and I was like, yo mom, like Chuck died, like how you holding up? And she was like, oh yeah, I'm cool. Like it sucks I never met him, but you know, my mom, I always talked to my mom that she was like, she was going to divorce my dad and marry Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. But yeah, it was it's sad to know that he's passed away, but like what a beautiful legend and a life that he lived. And I hope, I guess in like the current dynamics of how the world works, right? Like I hope we get to make it to 86 and be comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I hope that like all of us kind of can take away from him in terms of like he had his own opinions, but he always like made sure to spread more love than like alienating people to whatever like things were going on, whether it was political or philosophical or religious. He was pretty open, but it was always like, but hey, like we just gotta do good in the world and like help each other out regardless of how we think we're supposed to do it. And like I think it's a great lesson. I see what your boy said. Obviously, you don't like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee actually did compete, just to let you know. He wasn't a like fighter. Like
he did a lot of exhibitions when it came to like exploring the concept of Jeet Kune Do and all that stuff. But
yeah,
in actuality, like Judo Lee, Jean LaBelle like called him out a lot when it came to like him claiming to be like an undefeated fighter and all this other stuff. If there's one thing that we knew about Bruce Lee is that he understood martial arts. He was he was philosophically super intelligent at what he figured out and where he knew where the sport was going to go, because even in like the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, it talks about how mixed martial arts and how everything was going to change. And you know, I think in one of his movies like Game of Death or whatever, he puts someone in like a scarf choke or like an arm bar or something. I remember. So him like implementing the idea of adding like jujitsu and all this stuff was kind of like it was unheard of in the martial arts like movie world. But yeah, at the time, even why that fight scene happened with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee was because Chuck had just won like the international sports like karate, kickboxing championships and stuff, and Bruce Lee brought him on because of that to beat him in a film to kind of like keep himself up in the martial arts world.
Yeah, and Chuck Norris really wanted to do that too, because he's like I want you to grow. And like it wasn't like I have to beat you. Like, no, you should beat me because I compete. But like the movies, they're gonna bring more people onto martial arts.
Yeah, because that even talking about it, like if you're gonna bring up Chuck Norris's success, you would bring up like Benny the Jet Akitas and Don the Dragon Wilson and all of these guys from way back in the day that were in that combat circuit of karate and stuff like that. Hey everybody, how's it going? Ezimu, is that how you say it? Nice to see you. And Lasky, what's up? Yeah, man. Do you remember? Yeah. You guys came in the chat like a couple weeks ago. Hey, what's up, man? What's up? I give you a video. I give your video a thumbs up. Hey, thank you guys so much.
You got 20.
No, I'm just messing with you, your boy. Like I'm I'm just messing around.
Yeah, I'm just saying Bruce gets too much credit that Chuck didn't. No hate on Bruce, but a lot of people think Bruce was a total badass, and he really wasn't. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that he wasn't a badass because, I mean, you have Danny Nasantu, who to this day is still one of the head martial arts people that, I mean, he trains Eric Paulson of CSW, and Eric Paulson is a fucking madman at combat, at catch wrestling. And that's like Pancretian and all this other stuff, catch can and all this stuff. So if he respects Danny Nasantu, who was the only, what was it? Like, I guess ambassador. Yeah. Cause I see him like ambassador for the Jeet Kune Do and the lineage of Bruce Lee. Like if you look at Danny Inosanto, like even to this day, he's still like hyper respected for being up there and being related to Bruce Lee and carrying on his legacy and stuff like that. So that has to have some weight behind it, a value or whatever in the martial arts world, especially with someone like Eric Paulson being behind it. So your boy Rob says, Chris, I trained for 2.5 years. Is it 25 years or 2.5? That'd be awesome. You train for fucking 25 years with Gene LaBelle.
It's 2.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say fucking 25. Judo Gene LaBelle, like that's a G, bro. Ronda Rousey's fucking uncle or whatever they call him or whatever she calls him. Yeah, what derby was that?
I was gonna say, hey Relic, down goes Florida.
Down goes Florida.
What's going on in Florida?
What happened?
You lost.
So what game you watching?
Dude, I don't even follow sports. What are you talking about?
What fucking sport are you watching, bro?
March Madness. March Madness.
Is it football? Is that football or is that basketball?
Basketball.
Oh shit.
Dude,
Florida's the number 1 seed and they lost to the number 9 seed.
Yeah, like I can't.
Yeah, Lasky, if you don't worry about staying up too late. Where I live in Central Texas, so like, I live in the Central timeline, so you might be probably in the derpy timeline, and that's close to the same thing with Relics. Like they're like 2 hours ahead of me, or an hour. Is it an hour or 2 hours? It's 1 hour. You're 9:35 right now, right?
It's 9:30 over here.
Yeah. 1 hour ahead of me. So Lasky, if you stay on, I appreciate it, and don't worry about it, dude. You got stuff to do tomorrow, probably school or something like that. So you stay on as long as you can, and we appreciate your views. But
just like a final thought on Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the Expendable films; they're terrible. I think it was such a great thing to have everybody together, and they before he passed away, they actually had Chuck Norris.
Yeah, the lone wolf,
and he
bro.
did a Chuck Norris joke. It was like that's one of the greatest things in cinema history. Off a garbage movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the Expendable movies aren't necessarily like Oscar.
It's not
winning,
but it's we get it's 80s explosion. That's what we get to see. Other than the last one. The last one was really whatever, but it was just like a reminiscent of like the 80s action films,
Cairo Parisian, isn't that the guy with you see like the judo guy? Yeah, I think off the top of my head. That's pretty good, man. Shit. What gym did you train at, brother? But yeah. I'm in 5th grade. Good night, dude.
Right.
Yeah, 5th grade.
Let's go.
Lasky's our boy, man. Thank you, bud. I hope you have a good night, man. I hope you like the Spider-Man trailer. I know Derpy probably didn't like it, but Lasky, you're more of the audience for it, so I hope you really enjoyed it, man. Yeah,
maybe it looks like they're gonna be a little more violent.
Yeah. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a little bit, but we wanted to share I guess the time to just say like, it's sad to hear that Chuck Norris passed away, but what a fucking time to be alive and to have witnessed this great man grow up and be such a great person, dude. North Hollywood Judo, that is rad, dude.
And 86 years old is like it doesn't sound like too old, but like he lived like a full life. Like,
Yeah.
made it to 86. That's almost 100 years old. That's just 14 years off.
And if I'm not mistaken,
I
it
mean?
sounds weird as fuck, but I guarantee that when he had the situation when he was rushed to the hospital, he was still training.
Oh yeah, no, he was.
Yeah, he was making a
Yeah.
video about training at the time or something like that.
Yeah, well, like I remember the first time I saw him where I saw that he was old. It was we had Dish Network, and it was like one of those late night ads.
Yeah,
for,
talking
like
about
a
like
workout equipment, the rowing thing. And I
Tonight
saw Chuck
Lasky.
Norris. I'm like, what the freak is he doing? Because it was right after P90X ad. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
him. And I was like, what's he doing? Like selling this stuff, but he was always super active. Like he had like a full blown gym in his house, and he'd invite people. It was, like from what I heard, I didn't like look up a whole lot of the report. Like the night before, he was in the gym training. Like
Yeah,
so-
I had read that he was actually recording a YouTube video for training.
Oh
That's
really?
what I heard. Yeah, he was recording for his like social media that he was going to be out there training, and yeah, something happened, which is like I forgot. I think I was talking to my dad about it, and I was like, man, dude, like at 86, like it's good to stay active and stuff, but like knowing Chuck Norris and his probably competitive nature, like he probably wanted to push himself hard and just didn't like trust. See, I'm even suffering, dude. I'm 44. Like I was doing some shit in the gym this past week, and I forgot what I was doing, like either like suplexes or bridge work or whatever, and I ended up fucking pinching like a sciatic nerve in my back. And I've had that shit for like a week, dude, and it's the fucking worst, bro. It's the fucking worst. And I tried to like use like a yoga ball to stretch it out or decompress my back, and it made it like a million times worse, dude. My students were like, coach, come over here so you could enroll this person in the computer. I couldn't even get off the fucking ball, dude, while they were teaching jujitsu. Like I was just fucking rolled onto the ground, and I was like, is this it for me? Like, is this the moment I become old? Like, is this the branding place that I get like the cool up fucking cart with the little tennis balls on it or whatever, or like the cane, or what? Is this it?
You gotta lose some weight, brother. You gotta lose some weight.
And I was like, nah, man, I ain't fucking going out like that. But it's weird, like I work out a lot. In high school, I was about 170, 175. Now I'm walking like maybe 213, 212. Like I still
tall
work
are
out.
you?
I'm 5'6", 5'7". Well, 5'6".
Okay.
I would say on the short end, 5'6". I still roll with my students. Like I still get in there and I do jujitsu and I do kickboxing and boxing with my students, like on the nighttime. And yeah, man, but it's so fucking like.
Because we're roughly like the same way. I'm 5'8", and I'm around 200 pounds.
Sure that. Nico, how's it going, brother? How's it going? Oh, and your boy, do you still train, bro? Do you still train? I lived with the Armenians for 3 years. That's rad, dude. It's so cool to see someone like in the comment section that also trains in some way, and then to have like roots with Jean LaBelle. That's fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's sick. Derpy, you got to start training jujitsu or something, man.
Yeah, Derpy, you got to start fucking learning to beat up people.
You're the only one
park,
that's not training here. What the freak?
You got to start learning to beat up fucking people that try to ask you for money at Walmart or whatever, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, Derpy. Don't do that. Derpy's crazy. Your boy says, Rip Legend. Indeed, brother. Indeed. And your boy says, I can't roll at all anymore. I haven't been able to for 12 years. I just pull something every time that I do. No fucking see. That's why it's hard for me to do capoeira. Because every time I want to do something, because I used to do capoeira back in the day. Me and my brother were. My brother was a contra maestre. Way long ago, and I learned a bunch of shit when I was under him because my brother had gone to go train at San Jose Capoeira, which is under Master Wagner Bueno in San Jose. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I trained with my brother, and I trained with him too when we were little, and yeah, look. We trained capoeira back in the day. He knows. He sees it. See, we talked about it way back. But it's so hard nowadays, dude, because like since I haven't touched ground in that nature, like negachivas and roles and aus, I don't like it. It's almost like when I used to do backflips. Like I can't now because I'll fucking if I land wrong, I'll fucking twist an ankle or pull a calf muscle like really hard. Or I'll get a Charlie horse in air. And then land in a weird way. So it's just
Yeah.
so like, damn, dude, like, you know, it's a fucking. You kind of wish you could still kind of move back the way you were. Remember when Trump beat up Vince McMahon?
Yeah, Trump's a
Shoved
real
his head at
martial artist,
WrestleMania.
dude. He's a
That was
wrestler.
like a lot, dude. Do a backflip. And so Dan says, remember when Trump beat up Vince McMahon and shoved his hand at WrestleMania? Do you remember when Trump used to own Affliction, the fight company? And they had like Fedor and Andre Arlovsky and all that shit way back in the. Remember the t-shirts?
Yeah, but then
that they used to
nothing
make?
happened to it.
Yeah, no, it fucking failed
they didn't
completely.
do
They did like
anything.
2 shows, yeah. Did like 2 shows.
And like they had the name, they had Fedor in there, and they're just like,
yeah, dude, the last emperor
This is
himself.
it.
I love Fedor. He's like my hero, dude. But yeah.
yeah.
Boys, how was your week, man? What do we got going on in nerd news? What do we want to talk about?
Dude, okay. I don't know if you saw it came out today. So if you guys have noticed that every 2 years now, it's like they move the goalposts a little lower in terms of how much money they're projected to make. Like superhero films, they're saying like, oh, every film is projected to make like 700 million, like guaranteed, and then it moved to 600, and now it's like 400, 500, and recently it went to 400 million. Well, Supergirl has been trying to do some not damage control, but kind of saving themselves. They said like our budget was 100 million.
Nintendo suits itself.
Like I don't know if you guys saw this. Like, so the Supergirl movie, apparently it's only cost 100 million to make, which is impossible. Absolutely impossible. Like the lead of the movie isn't even the one that's getting paid the most, and she has a baseline of 3 million.
Is that real?
Like, yeah.
Who's making the most out of the money?
Jason Momoa.
Oh, he's such a bigger draw though, dude.
Yeah, well, he's the main
in Hawaii right now.
He's the main draw for the film. Like people want to see, like people talk about Lobo more than they're talking about Supergirl. Even like people who are really excited for the Supergirl movie, they have more, and like even on YouTube they have more videos and like theories about what Lobo is gonna do, if we're gonna see a cameo of Clark and Lobo fighting and whatnot. You know, is Lobo gonna use like human guns, and then he finds Supergirl and they're gonna do like the thing from the comics where like he realizes that he can actually use his hands because his hands are deadlier than guns, and then fight, you know, Supergirl instead of Superman in that way. So it like that's the draw. And I think just staffing alone is above like just the actors alone. I think it equals out to like 10 to 15 million of the budget, and then they're not adding marketing, and I have no idea, did they really like remove all producers and now they're just having the executive producer and that's it? Because when you roll the credits, most, and like Hollywood, it was I think back in 2016 is when people noticed that a lot of the people that have like credibility is because they like brought coffee or something. And
oh yeah, well they went up the food chain, right? Like they had to.
Yeah. So then they're in the credits, and then they have to pay these people, and then they have to have a bunch of extra producers, so that they could say that like, oh, these people worked on this project but actually did nothing. So they're paying them for doing no work, unless they actually went like, we are going to actually do the right thing and only hire people for a job, and we're not gonna just try to prop up people's careers and just give them credit, then they have to give them a paycheck to show that they actually worked on the project. Then I would believe it somewhat that their budget dropped like almost freaking 65%, because before it was reported that Supergirl was gonna cost like 530 million. Like
Okay.
they went over budget.
Oh,
and now they're
yeah,
saying
yeah.
like it only costs 100 million to make.
Damn.
Which
Derpy,
I highly doubt.
what's your take on this? You're our DC aficionado. I'm putting up all our Instagrams on Facebook, boys. Kick, add me. Your boy, add me on Instagram, dude. I'm gonna put up Derps, and then I'm gonna put up Relic, so you guys can find us online. So that way, in case you guys ever want to message us. But
You
Derp,
can add me on YouTube as well. It's the same thing. The Last Relic.
The Last Relic.
I think that Nobody should be worried about it. Judging when it comes out, that's what entertainment's about. But hey, you got assholes like freaking Nerd Erotic and freaking Geeks and Gamers that judge a movie before it comes out because that with the hate content.
Dude, I just talked to them yesterday.
I don't care. Screw those guys.
Who'd you talk to?
I was
Screw both of
they
them.
did a meetup here in Orlando.
Screw
Oh,
both.
really? That's crazy.
Yeah. And I went over. I mainly talked to Quarter Black Garrett. Derp, here's the thing. A trailer is the enticement of the movie. And
we
and
just gotta judge Spider-Man already. We gotta
no,
judge
I don't think
Doomsday
they're
already.
judging it
They're
by
shitty movies already.
Wait, hold up. They're not judging it that it's automatically garbage
Yes, they
because
are.
of the trailer. No, like, dude, look at what they're saying. They're saying like this guy, Danny.
They don't like James Gunn, and that's the reason.
No, like Warner Brothers hired the same guy to do Watchmen, one of the absolute worst DC shows and hero shows to ever exist was the Watchmen series, which is the showrunner for Lanterns. Tom King, he's the only comic book writer in history.
Hey, dude, we're on Supergirl, not Lanterns.
But he's the only comic writer in history that got kicked out of a Batman run. He got fired from a Batman run. And then he's the problem is that he was hating and making jokes, even though I understood the concept of the jokes about Lanterns. The reason I'm talking about Lanterns is I'm gonna get into the Supergirl stuff, right? The reason I'm talking about Lanterns is because the artist got called out by the comic book artists and writers, the showrunners, I mean, and about saying green is stupid. And I get it was a year ago, all that fun stuff, right?
Oh,
but,
yeah, the interview that he did, right?
Yeah. But it was on a comedy show.
Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna give him
that's
too much
the
hate,
past.
but at the same time, these guys truly believe that. You know, as much as I like Bryan Singer's X-Men, they thought the X-Men suits were stupid in the comics, too colorful and wacky, and they gave them just Matrix leather, which I'm not hating, but you know, the comics was way better. But James Gunn, you know, first he said, like, you got to understand the guy's taste. Like, every time he's had free reign, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it's a good movie. It's the worst of the Guardians movies. And then he does Superman. And Superman, it wasn't a flop, but it was pretty much a disaster in terms of getting the right money and hyping up
it's
the
just
DC.
personal
Like
taste
I
of what
pointed this out.
conservatives like and
I
don't.
pointed that. No, it's not F that. I pointed this out. Iron Man is a C-list character. It is nothing compared to Superman. And that movie made more money than James Gunn's Superman. Like,
Yeah.
like that should never happen.
It was also
right?
2008.
And then
yeah, different time for film.
Yeah, but there was way more marketing.
Different prices.
If you exactly,
people are not complaining about it.
That means less people. Like I crunched the numbers, and it's super easy to crunch. Like Endgame, if Doomsday makes just as much money as Endgame, that's almost 100 million less people watching the movie. Because when Endgame came out, the average ticket was $12 to go see a movie. Now the average ticket is $15 across the country, but 20 in most places. $20. So conservatively, it's 100 million people less watching the movie with the same amount. And that's the point. Butts and seats, right? Superman automatically attracts. But now that we do have the internet and we see and James Gunn shot himself in the foot. Even let's say this movie was perfect. He just kept talking, and then he like at first I was super for the Superman movie. He was like saying we're gonna do truth, justice, the American way. Then he got a little bit of backlash from whatever political aisle you want to believe, but he got backlash online, right? And then he moved away from that, where we don't even hear it in the movie. Then he fired Henry Cavill on his birthday after allowing Black Adam to be released with Henry Cavill.
All I hear is tears, Relic. That's all I'm saying.
No. This is not tears. This is pointing out, like, when these guys need to shut up and realize that they're making a movie, and their goal is to get everybody to go watch this movie. That is their goal.
I'm
And
gonna be real.
so-
I'm more
and so
interested in what he is inning, Vince, more than Relic's take right now.
Wait, what?
I'm more interested in Chris's food right
they're-
now than Relic's take.
Yeah. They're asking what I'm eating. So yeah, I'm eating peanut butter buddies.
This isn't a take. Like when I owned the Lego store, right? Every time the Lego made some sort of political announcement, we dropped sales, and I had to do way more marketing than I actually was planning on doing. Star Wars specifically the brand got so bad to today's day and age. It's so bad that every time a show is launched, instead of an influx in sales, we dropped sales, and we had to do marketing for the original, for Old Republic, for the prequels. That's the marketing we had to hit to counter the Mandalorian season 3. Like that,
Yeah.
we had to end before it even launched. So this is not just me BSing and not having what's it called? No basis off this. When a showrunner, head of a studio, is starting to talk, and he is trying to alienate people from one side or the other, that's a bad business plan, right? The good thing was, and we saw the Hollywood interviews on the premiere of Superman, where yo, Trump is saying that the whole immigration thing and Superman, and then luckily James Gunn finally figured it out. I was like, it's just a movie, guys. So what? This is Superman. Great. That's the most he should be saying. But he did so much damage before that, and then he's saying that everybody's saying that Peacemaker is his masterpiece. Say what you want about the Superman film, Peacemaker season 2 is not better than the Superman film.
I agree.
And that he's saying that he believes in that project more, but he's also behind the decisions of Supergirl. One thing you don't do, I know James Gunn likes to be edgy and whatever. One of the things you don't do is call Superman the B word when you first introduce that character and have her a drunk brat, and that is the first marketing for the Supergirl movie.
It's really crazy because okay, so let me cut across real quick, because I understand this. I like Superman. I think he's a great superhero, and I think he's probably been shit on the most in the comic book world within the last 8-9 years. Just today I saw they took John Kent, his son, from this horrible take on aging him up and then putting him back to a child, because that's when they were selling comic books before they implemented a bunch of the woke obligation to the character that they wanted to put in, and it didn't work. Now and I called this several years ago that they were going to do this with this character. That's why they never made him full on gay, but they turned him bi, because if it didn't work, they would just give him a girlfriend, and then they would just write it off as it was a college day for him experimenting or whatever. But they moved him all the way back to a child in the recent comic book, in one of the stupidest comic books.
Wait, so which one?
John Kent, Superman's son, in the comic book.
And it's
okay. Yeah,
and it's Tom King did that bull crap.
Yeah,
he's the
and
one
it was
that
bad.
gave him a pink-haired boyfriend and
Yeah.
actually aged him up. That's some bull, man.
So there's a lot of, and I think your boy RB put it in the comments earlier, where he's like, he doesn't really care too much about any of this stuff, but he doesn't like that there's a lot of propaganda that they kind of push on media and all this stuff. Derpy, I see that you're defensive because you like the DC universe.
Yes.
But knowing James Gunn's past on how he would write texts about molesting children and doing all this bad stuff, why do you come up to bat for a person like that? Why do you want to defend him so much? That's me. I don't like James Gunn at all. I respected Superman because I liked the character and I watched it, but I could care less about if anybody. I think everybody should dislike James Gunn for his past stuff. I don't want to praise him. I don't want to prop him up and give him an entire studio
Let me
knowing
let
that
me
he talked about molesting children and babies and all this other stuff. And then you give him a studio or a whole entire IP based on children. And then he takes the characters and he like
well, like, look, I think
makes them very edgy. Look,
The-
not without
they were-
Relic. Wait, hold on, Relic. Like
Sorry,
not
my
without
bad. Okay.
Relic's
Yeah.
like take on this. DC as a comic book, I don't think should be about shooting the finger or calling people bitch or all this other stuff. But this is the way James Gunn wants to take it. And the reason why Peacemaker was a hit was because of the debauchery in the society and the nature of the way they took the culture of the character. They had him naked. They had him having sex. They had him doing drugs. They had him doing all this stuff like The Boys. Like exactly like The Boys, the debauchery of what makes The Boys popular is because everybody likes to see the IPs when we were young that were innocent, like vandalized. They like to see it vandalized. This is the same thing with like fucking Ninja Turtles will eventually have, I don't know, some fucking weird sex scene in it. And then people will be like, yeah, that's my Ninja Turtles now or whatever. I hope not. I really hope not. But
That's
eventually it'll get to that weird nature.
That's just Ronin.
What? Yeah, Ronin with extra steps, right? Like Derpy, like in the case of it, think of this as me asking you at like 15.
Yeah.
Like, are you happy with the way James Gunn represented like the Justice League and the DC universe with Superman 1? At your 15, not right now, but like when you were 15, or did you expect more care?
I like it. I would like it then as much as I like it now.
Okay.
My thing is that DC is such at a low state.
Yeah.
It's really just desperation, whoever's in charge right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. That's a good call.
I think it's in desperation in terms of making money, but I don't think it's desperation in terms of content. Like, they have a back catalog that is rich. Like, people will, for free, let him know this is what you should be adapting, and these are the best of this character. These are all the freaking, and it's subjective, it's people's taste, but then he could objectively go through and be like, this makes sense. Cause and effect.
I think people don't have
A
patience.
plus B equals C, right? No, it's not about patience.
It is about patience.
No, it isn't about patience. It's about, we've seen his backtrack. We've seen, like, let me go back to, first of all, I hope James Gunn was joking with those tweets, right? I don't think he should be canceled, but if there was nothing, if he was just joking around, yeah, they might not have been in good taste, but that's his humor, right? As we see, Peacemaker is his humor.
Wait, Relic, do you have dark humor?
I have dark humor, yeah.
You ever talk about fucking kids?
I don't know, but
so you're telling me there's a place you shouldn't go, right?
Place for me, but I think in terms of free speech, you could say whatever the hell you want to say. You're gonna attract certain people with what you're gonna say, but that's on you. I'm not like, if he is like really, like, for instance, I was talking to this dude.
You know what?
I
was might be right about
I was
that.
listening to I forgot the guy's name. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, and I think it was one of the Gordon Ryan fights, or I think it was actually the first CJI competition, right? One of the guys said he was molested as a kid, and then the interviewer was like, "Man, you must have been a really good-looking kid."
Oh, fuck, that's horrible.
Dude, I laughed, man. I was like, that's ridiculous.
It's edgy, because it's edgy shit, right?
But I'm not saying it's like, there's levels to it, and again,
that's the dumbest response ever.
Yeah, that was Kill Tony when they had the Dr. Phil guy, and the dude goes, "Man, I was molested by like 3 of my uncles."
Yeah, it's like,
and the guy Kill Tony looks over at him and goes, "Dr. Phil, talk to him," and he goes, "Which one was your favorite?" And he goes, "No, dude, don't ask that fucking question." Like, that's because, again, we live in a world like The Boys. I had the opportunity a while back to ask a question to the guy who plays Jay Garrett in the Flash TV show, the old Flash. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I had the opportunity to talk to him at a convention one time
Oh, nice.
and interview him and stuff. And in the interview, I asked him one question. And I asked him, in the current dynamic on how we degeneracy 100 million %.
Yeah.
I asked him, do you think in our reality we've passed the golden age of comic books to where now comics have to be this degeneracy for us to be relatable to it? Like, do you think this is it? Like, there's no more like bing bang pow, no more like the Superman flying up and giving us hope. Like, now it all deals with, well, is he still making money? Like the Falcon guy, like not able to pay rent. Like, I want to see that kind of shit. Or, you know, I want to see the Hulk and Black Widow bang or whatever the fuck. Are we going to see that? Like, are we past the good, like our grandparents' comic books of the film world when it comes to superhero movies? Because again, The Boys is popular, Invincible's hyper popular, Marvel and DC are not, until we get like The Death in a Family or Superman's or what Black or Batman's wiener is in a comic book, or
Tom King.
You know, again, are we at a part where our comic books now are going to be this like place of degeneracy, like Lord put earlier? Like, is that what we're expecting now? Like, we not go back? Like you said earlier, like if you were to take Superman or Supergirl, right? Since that's the next film coming up, and you clean slate, go back and say, hey, you know what, guys, we're going to go back to the very beginning and we're going to do it the way Marvel did it in the beginning. Like, we're going to follow the template. Like, we're going to do the right thing. And we're going to make a very like comic book worthy variation of the Green Lanterns and Superman and Supergirl. Does it work? Does it work?
They should have done from the very beginning, but
because it was a template that it was a clean slate.
Look,
they had the opportunity.
But DC fans complain about it because they don't want to be like Marvel.
Well, they shouldn't. They're better.
Yeah.
DC is better than Marvel.
Yeah, it's better.
They've been rebooted like to hell and back, but DC is better. Like, because here's what DC has above Marvel. Marvel is the world outside your window, right? Yeah. So Marvel Comics, they delved deep into politics and that writing, and it was good because it was very much. It wasn't like, it was very bipartisan. It wasn't really like this is a Republican comic, this is a Democrat comic. It's like, no, this current president did a policy that's gonna be difficult for, you know, superheroes to have an identity. You know, Civil War, stuff like that. So, or like Spider-Man, he has to go in hiding. You know, he can't. The whole entire government is cracking down on this stuff, you know, X-Men, that kind of stuff. And then DC really dealt with the good versus bad, black and white with a little bit of gray area, you know, and that's why they were able to do so much more, is because there was already places like Gotham that had garbage going on and that nobody was helping them out, and that's what created Batman. Aside from just the shooting, is that Gotham was going to deteriorate if the little guy didn't do something, if somebody, an average citizen, didn't step up.
Yeah,
you know. So they didn't have to follow the template. Obviously, in terms of Zack Snyder, I don't agree with where he was going, but he was pushed to progress it so we could have Justice League and they could already catch up to Marvel, and they should never have played that game. You know, like Warner Brothers, that's why, like, what's the director says, release the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like, even that was rushed, and they were trying to do a bunch of stuff. And when I first watched that movie, I enjoyed it. Hate it now, but so there's a part to blame with studios, you know, where they're rushing things. I think James Gunn, what he did correct is that he started off with Superman. Do I think he did right by it? No. Do I like what Chris was saying about degeneracy? I don't think that we can't go back. I think it's going to be really hard to go back and find people who have the power or influence in Hollywood or attached to these IPs to actually do something about it. Because James Gunn's not the guy to put pure and innocence into DC. Like, every film has had cuss words in it, and like quite a bit. everything that he's kind of like touching upon, he wants it to be edgy and adult like, and it's like, no, some of it has to be pure. Superman has to have a lot of innocence and purity to it, you know. And then you're doing it with Green Lanterns, which just by the trailer alone had 3 F words in it, and for some reason it's not a red band trailer. Like, I'm not trying to be a prude, but it's like, this guy, he has one way of thinking. And it's not that, like, if you have one way of thinking, you're automatically suck. It's like, you need to be humble enough to bring other people on that think differently than you and fine tune your blade so that you can actually do something good. Like, that's one of the reasons why George Lucas' original trilogy was doing not only well, but was something that was fantastic and well written, was because he had people in his staff, including his own wife, that like fought against his ideas, pointed out that,
Yeah.
George, you created Star Wars, but you're not perfect at Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
This is what we got to do. This is what we got to fix. Like, take that out. Like, in Return of the Jedi, he messed up a little bit, but like, he had some wacky ideas. He wanted Luke Skywalker to be Darth Vader and don the helmet and say, I am now Darth Vader, as soon as he dies.
Well, they got
And it's
Kylo
like-
Ren for that, baby.
Shut up, dude. Don't even. Don't you
Yeah,
ever,
look how that went.
don't you ever
Yo,
talk
so
to me
so
like that
Derpy,
again.
in the comment section, Am I Vile put a good comment, which I heard about today actually, that James Gunn is actually kind of might be out in 2027 after the Paramount thing and all that stuff, that they're probably
So
not
that's when
gonna
his
keep him.
contract ended in Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't sell, but they always renew contracts. So in end of 2026 is when you're gonna hear talks again about, is he
For
renewing
James
a
Gunn if he's gonna
contract?
return, right?
But yeah, like Kathleen Kennedy's contract ended in 2019, and then
God
she
bless her
renewed it.
heart.
You know,
Yeah, fucking-
and then she's out now, but
Yep.
it's because she chose to retire. You know,
So,
Bob Iger left before his contract retired,
yeah.
or before his contract expired.
So what
I
do
mean.
you think about that though, Derp? Because Am I Vile asks a good question. If that's the case and he does leave, then what do any of these movies really matter? Like, so the reason why I say is because I'm a DC fan too, man. Like, I know a fuckload about the comics. I've been about this shit for a long time. I'm a big Superman fan. Was I super happy with what they handled the movies? Not really. I like the guy who played Superman. I thought he was fucking fantastic for playing like a younger. If you were going to recast a younger version of Henry Cavill, I think that kid hit it really well. Except there's sometimes in the movie that he looks the same age as Henry Cavill. So, but he does look a little bit younger. But if they remove James Gunn, do you want them to follow the same slate, or would you like them to be like, hey guys, James Gunn is out. We're gonna do something super critical, and we're gonna redo it all over again. Like, what do you think? And it's crazy to think that way, but like, what do you think, Derpy?
Well, that's what I wanted to say. I was saying, I don't know who else could be in charge at this point for them. You know,
Well, 700 million people. They could call you, bro.
I probably could do a better
That's
job.
7 million.
I could,
7 billion people that live on the planet. They could call you. They could literally be like,
I
look,
could probably
Derpy
do a better
Entertainment, we've
job.
heard you on the podcast, and we know you love DC. Let's go, baby. You know what I
I
mean?
probably
So,
could do a better job than what they're
well, you
doing
see,
right
like,
now.
that's the thing is like, so that means you're critical of what this person is doing because you yourself know that you could probably do better than what he's produced, right?
Yeah.
Or at least take it in a better direction, right? Like that's
Right.
it. So your 15-year-old self would be critical.
I mean, the only way they probably, I mean,
It's okay.
that stupid Flash movie was made already, but the only way they could probably do it is if like they do a proper Flashpoint.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong. He's the dude that, I mean, look, I think we can all agree that the animated DC universe is fucking fantastic.
Yes.
Like, hands down, probably one of the best fucking like animated superhero.
Wait, like,
like-
which animated DC universe?
Well, that's a good question too,
There's
because the
multiple.
last Justice League, I think it was called Armageddon or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Where like
last
Batman
ones were
was
kinda
bad.
garbage.
That one was bad,
Yeah.
dude. Superman had like kryptonite
past
in
few
his
years,
heart,
it's
and he
been
was like
garbage, man.
just a normal dude, and Wonder Woman was like all cut up and
Yeah.
broken up, and it was very weird when we looked at it. And
Right.
even with that, they took they took a privilege and they took a chance to be like, yo, let's do something different. Because I don't really think that was in any comic book ever. And at the very end, what is it, like fucking Batman or Constantine or whoever the fuck goes up to Flash and kind of taps him on the shoulder, and he's kind of like, all right, bro, like it's your time. Like you need to go back because this fucking thing sucked. Like this was a really bad movie. Like please run back and fix this. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that was it, but like it wasn't crazy bad, but it wasn't like good. I don't think it was the greatest of the cartoons.
I do want to address something that's in the
comments,
yeah. So a few things. I got a lot to say, as usual. So your boy, one of the reasons we're not necessarily talking about the gay queer bull crap, which everything you said I completely agree with, is because in in Superman we didn't get that. Was Superman like retarded and a little bit affectionate and feminine? Yes, but we didn't get any of that. Now we do have to drop the race swapping, the gay stuff. Like, and I pointed this out in my in one of the live streams in my channel. One of the reasons why homosexual relationships will never gravitate to the mass audience is because everybody in the world, regardless of what you believe, what you think, you're going to have to deal with men and women. I don't care if you believe there's a billion genders. There ain't. I don't care what you believe. You will have to deal with a man and a woman in your life. Everybody comes from the DNA of men and women. So those things are natural. When a man and a woman kiss, that's natural. When two dudes kisses, I'm like, oh, freak, you know, like on screen. Call me homophobe all you want. I don't want to see that.
No, wait. Hold on. Let me intervene because I know what you're saying. Yeah. And let me intervene. Because most guys that are my age and probably your boy's age and your age, Relic, maybe Derpy, we don't mind when two chicks kiss. In fact, that used to be like a whole spring break thing. Now, you gotta remember, yeah, we gotta be realistic. But there's a thing. There's like a whole like there's a nurtured idea that's sexy or that's something that's kind of been put in a man's mind that's cool. That again is homosexuality on the opposite course of the field. If you see two dudes, like the problem is you need good writers.
Don't mind two
yeah, you see, I didn't even you see, and he didn't even know I was gonna say that. He was typing that shit before I even started. Because that's a social thing that we've seen over the years. That's the norm. It's something that we're okay with. And even some females and males think that that's fine. As much as it's not okay in the male gaze to not look at that kind of stuff and be proud about it or whatever, that's understandable. But the thing is,
dude,
you need
but like
writing.
Here's the thing, like
you need
like
good
when they did that in Arrow, I wasn't cool with it. Like I don't think anybody's really cool with it. It depends on the media. If you're gonna do Brokeback Mountain, you know exactly what you're getting into. Go ahead and go watch Brokeback Mountain. If you want to watch two lesbians kiss, go ahead and go surf the internet. Have fun. But
but one is
when it comes to like media where it's like, okay, for me, here's the thing. If it's PG-13,
don't put it.
Don't freaking touch it.
Yeah.
Don't put the freaking bullcrap, queer crap. Don't put any race swap because that is just sloppy seconds. It's effed up for every side, right? Like keep it freaking PG-13. Whatever parents want to teach, again, 13 and up, I get it. But whatever parents want to teach, that's up to them. When kids see things in the real world, that's how they should be experienced. It shouldn't be forced or shown on screen.
Yeah.
You know, when it's adult content, like if it's rated R, like have fun, take it. But I don't want to see a Superman rated R film. If it's rated R, am I gonna go see it? No, like it's just
that's the boys. That's
right?
Brightburn.
That's why there was that whole like deconstruction of superheroes. It's like, what if we saw like a more mature version or deconstruct Superman for the 80th time? And it's gotten old. I think it's gotten old. I think
dude, like, you want to know how old it is? Yeah. It's the Mickey Mouse is in Free Nature or Winnie the Pooh, and then they made it into like a murder movie. Popeye. They make them into these weird horror films that no one gives two shits about. No one gives a fuck about seeing a Mickey Mouse who's on a boat that wants to kill fuckers. No one gives a fuck about Popeye wanting to eat spinach and fucking rip people's heads off. No one gives a fuck about, Winnie the Pooh as a serial killer in the forest. Like it's just those. And it sounds weird, but that genre of filmmaking is where James Gunn started off. It's called what is it? Trauma films.
Yeah.
Trauma films. He's like I get it. Like I get that you want to see these characters in perverse ways, but
No,
like
I don't get it. Like that's a you problem, man.
no,
Like,
that's
if
why.
you-
That's
if
why.
you
Like
wanna
I
see-
understand that that's a genre. Like
Well,
there
go
are
read some
people that
fan
want
fiction, man. Like
that. You know what? It was because you can't say that because Injustice was good. And Injustice was a side what if series if Superman was pushed over his limit in the final laugh, or what's that, the last laugh of
yeah, but it
Joker
wasn't the
shit.
main thing. It wasn't the main thing. And again, we had like an Injustice thing even in the animated series,
Yeah.
but they kept it very clean. It wasn't explicit.
Yeah.
Like there's ways for things to be mature and not explicit. Like I pointed out before on this show, Return of the Jedi. When you walk into Jabba's hut,
Mhm. There's implied ideas
implied
that make it,
ideas that even kids like they're not gonna like question what's going on. They just
they
see
just
that
know
it's
it's a
bad.
bad place.
There's a freaking stripper dancing. There's hookah. People are gambling. People are
Mhm.
getting high. You know, there's bounty hunters, killers, all sorts of bad creatures. And when I was a kid, I never thought like this is sex, this is drugs. It's just like this is a place nobody should ever be in.
True.
This is a bad guy's base.
Yep.
That's it. Right? So
Yep.
we become not only too explicit, but the thing is, and again, just so I could finish my point of the whole like
Political stuff.
why men and women it's always gonna work and homosexual relationships are not, is because when we're watching something, we want to escape to that world. Okay,
Escapism.
it's about escapism. So
Yeah.
one of the reasons why it works, because you don't have to think twice that men and women are supposed to be together. Doesn't matter what you think religiously. You could take God out of the equation. It's Mother Nature. It's God. It's whatever the rules are. The parts fit. That's how a baby is born. That's it. So when you take something that we're supposed to focus on superheroes, we're supposed to focus on good versus bad, and you introduced all this stuff that takes you out of the experience and doesn't focus on the story, it's a problem. And that's why there's movies with ratings. Like if you see now the PG-13 ratings now, that was the original rated R. They moved
Yeah,
the
they pushed
goalposts
the
so many
envelope.
times.
They pushed the
Like
goalposts, right?
Scarface, when it first launched, they wanted to make it rated X.
Yeah.
You know, that's how heavy that movie was. When Zack Snyder released the 300, there was talks about like, was this too gory?
Too much. Yeah.
Like people, like reports of people passing out in the theater. And remember, like Elvis couldn't go on TV because he moved his hips too much.
Yeah, the
they had to
Beatles also, no?
Yeah, like it was too sensual. So
Yeah.
like, I'm not saying I think we progressed from that, but I think we took it way too far. Like, well, Hollywood took it too far, right? It wasn't. Yeah, see, like you're asking, was it too gory? At the time, we're not getting a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
Now, like if you look at the Suicide Squad 2 movie, like my wife, again, she's from Korea, right? She's not too into the films. She couldn't stand after the first scene. She's like, I'm not watching this film.
For the
Suicide
300?
Squad. No, the Suicide Squad 2 film.
Oh, Suicide Squad movie.
Like as soon as the one guy like blew his head off, she's done. And we watched rated R films together. Obviously, she's an adult, but she's like, nope, I'm not. That's way too much. I've never wanted to ever see that. And it brought me back to like, damn, because like one of the great things about being married to the woman I'm married to is that like was never involved in the nerd sphere, in social media, and all that stuff. So like she has that real like almost original eyes to film, to TV shows. So it's always been interesting like showing her something. Like when we dated, she didn't even know that Luke Skywalker, like Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. So like I showed her the Star Wars films and it was amazing. It took me back to all my memories of like, she even said like, he's lying, right? That's Darth Vader. He's evil. He's lying to Luke. There's no way. And it was awesome, right? And again, comic books, how they started off and how they actually developed, it was about hope. It was about escaping the real world while having slight commentary that you can connect it to if you wanted to, but it can also connect to other things, and it's supposed to speak to you of what you're going through at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it could be adapted multiple times over, and that's why you can read the comics multiple times over.
Yeah.
And you're gonna read it differently in different aspects of your life. That's good writing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
you could
like,
even look at it at the first iterations of Marvel, right? The first 10 years of Marvel, they followed the comic books as well as they could. They encouraged it more, and then eventually it got past, getting closer to Endgame and Infinity War, where it started changing. They started changing the divide and doing the, like, I guess the wokeism, I guess you could say, like the wokeisms of Hollywood. You could see the decline in film and in structure and quality of film around that time,
yeah,
where it turned into, I think someone said slop earlier. Of course, he said gay slop, but that's not what we're talking about. Just slop in general, where it just turned into exactly what we expect from Marvel. And that's the thing. Now we've gotten so far that that template of everything we expect Marvel to do has changed because of the people that are pushing the agenda of their beliefs or whatever it is that they believe in into the films more. And the thing is like Derpy said earlier, like DC is in such a low position that it doesn't have an identity yet. Like it doesn't have an identity for them to change the template. Like this person went directly in and put DC exactly where he wants it to be, where it's already in that agenda situation in Hollywood, in the Hollywood sphere, instead of creating its own identity. Like I think DC just doesn't have its identity anymore when it comes to like its IPs or its place, and that's what sucks. That's what sucks a lot.
it's again, superheroes no longer have the superhero identity. But all like, look at Phase 4 and 5 through the MCU. It was all about crapping on the legacy characters, and then making everybody a woman, and then making every hero a mantle that a woman or somebody else or a black dude could take, or whatever. Right? Like, to iterate one of the things that your boy said before, I feel the same way. I can't take my kid to watch the Superman film. I don't want him to see Green Lantern flipping people off. I don't want him to saying super shiz, all that stuff. Like, my son is 5 years old, right? I want to be able to enjoy a film with him. Like this year, I'm planning to, have a babysitter take care of the baby, like my parents, right? So that I can show my kids for the first time a movie in theaters, because I want them to kind of have that experience. And the only one that I can actually trust is this Mario movie.
Yep.
And that's just because I know Japanese people don't give a damn about these freaking politics, right? And like there's stipulations in that. So I don't feel comfortable, like even with the Spider-Man trailer that came out, I don't feel comfortable taking my kids to watch it for the first time. I gotta watch everything first, then I could take them to watch it.
Yep.
And the big problem is, it's not that like the majority want to see things like The Boys. They want to see mature stuff. I think people in general, they want to see good. They want to see innocence. It's like one of the reasons Korea has blown up, especially here in the US, but all over the world, is because they are more modest than most countries. They wear like the sundresses that don't show much cleavage. Their music is very relatable, but their technology is increasing, but they're very traditional, and they don't put a whole lot of politics in their shows. They've tried, where like a director lived 5 years in the America, or lived a few years in Canada, and they put like transgender bull crap and stuff, and it tanked because everybody was like, get that Western bull crap out of here. But Korean freaking cinema saved Netflix. Like only like Netflix stock dropped, especially after the whole cuties thing, and then it went up because of K-dramas releasing.
Yeah.
And also they were
And their action
at
films
their
are bad
anime
too, man.
adaptations. Yeah, so like we are craving, traditional sense. Like, you might not want to be a religious person and go to church, but we're craving the ideas that come from, a community of worship of like, hey, do good unto others and they will do good unto you. Maybe you shouldn't cheat on your wife or your husband. Maybe you shouldn't be promiscuous. Maybe you should raise a family, and that's better than becoming a billionaire. Like, we want to see all this stuff going on, right? We want to believe like Superman is supposed to be better than us. We shouldn't be hearing him cuss. We
Yep.
shouldn't be hearing him like be super sexually intimate even by kissing. Like even with the Lois Lane kiss, I was like, this is going on for a little longer than like
Yeah, it was a little much, right?
it's a little long for me seeing Clark Kent kiss for the first time, right? Like, we want to see Superman because he is the ideal of what not only an angel is, but what humans should strive for. And
Yeah.
you're supposed to be inspired by that.
Yeah.
There are the characters that, they are the bad guy and then they turn good and they have this backstory, and you really relate to that because we're not perfect. We all gone through something.
Yep.
But the problem is we're getting a bunch of writers who have no life experience.
Yep.
They went to school, went to college, didn't have to go to a war, didn't have to do anything, knew the right people, was the right sexual orientation, blew whoever they needed to blow, and then they're in freaking Hollywood and they think they know better than guys like Tolkien, who literally served in World War I and wrote The Hobbit.
Yep.
And was like literally what was asked about like Hitler and everything like that. Like, he met like some pretty terrible people and had to fight those terrible people, and then he used that experience to write something fantastic, and used the things he believed without shoving it down your throat. But he was a devout Catholic, and he used his principles in his story, where everybody can connect. Because if you want to talk about Catholicism with him, you can. But if you want Catholicism forced in Lord of the Rings, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be like, because even with that, like, those stories still had a lot of freedom. So it was relatable for a lot of many people across the board. But like, I think like the idea of the necessity to be a good understanding writer with good life lessons is very important, because of the factor that a lot of these people kind of like you said, they don't really have any like real life experiences, but they want to self-insert themselves into these stories in some way. And so they always try to make it about them. And a lot of them cry wolf on a lot of their traumas and dramas throughout their entire existence, that they don't really know what it's like to see like real world trauma.
No, and you see a lot of people like trying to champion like their ancestors and what they went through, or somebody in their family, like, my family went through this, or my ancestors went through this, therefore like I'm just as oppressed as what it was in the past.
Privileged
Like,
as
no,
they
like,
are or whatever.
like, dude, you're a professional victim. Screw you, man. Like from personal experience, a knife hurts way more than words. I gotta tell you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, you go through life, and then it's up to you on what you want to focus on. And unfortunately, like, and that's why I think it's important. Like, I think YouTube has been great. Like, kind of I know Derpy's not here. I would like to say this when he's here, but to kind of defend not only those YouTubers, but multiple YouTubers on why they're like criticize a trailer and they're like, this is probably gonna suck. Again, it isn't because of just the trailer. The trailer didn't gravitate towards you. Okay. But we believe the show is going to suck because everything previous has also sucked. Like, I think the Lanterns show is going to suck. I think the Supergirl movie is going to suck. If I'm okay eating crow, I want to be proven wrong. But I'm not going to like turn a blind eye on everything they've done. James Gunn's jokes, him being edgy. Like, I'm not going to believe he could write a children's book after watching Peacemaker and Lanterns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's hard to go back from like the degeneracy and then go back to the golden age of this storytellings.
Like, it's also simple. Like, hey, like your question, like when you were 15, well, what does James Gunn have to do? Maybe he should ask 15-year-olds. Like,
the audience parents, that he needs.
What kind of movie do you want to take your kids to? Because that's, in terms of business, that's the smartest move you can make. Like, hey, how many tickets can I sell to an adult? Freaking one. What about a family? Most likely 5. So how about I try to get families back in the theaters instead of just individuals?
Yeah, true.
Like,
it's crazy because I don't even know if you knew this, but they just had there's a comic book going on right now in Marvel that's the Ultimate storyline. They're
Yeah,
redoing
yeah,
the
yeah.
Ultimate, and Captain America just killed Bucky, and it's like I don't even care to read it. Like I don't want to see Captain America kill Bucky. That's like
Like here's the
I don't
thing.
know.
That is like a story critique, right?
But you know
It's
what
not
they're
like
doing. You know what they're doing. It's not like that's not creative. Like that's just
Oh,
them being
I
like,
agree.
"Oh,
I
look at
agree.
this, bro. Look at them be edgy." Like, what if Captain America was a killer? And it's like, bro, we already
Mhm.
did this with the Hell Hydra shit. Like, the Hell Hydra thing was interesting. At the time, Captain America really wasn't picked up or really doing anything with itself. You needed something big to happen for it to be effective, to put
Yeah.
Captain America back into the limelight and keep him interesting. If not, you're not going to sell comics. That's just what it is. But like, where is Captain America now, other than just the dude that is by media and by everyone in culture and by everyone that's a YouTube reviewer of anything? Just a white dude that's super strong and can throw a shield that doesn't obey gravity. He's really not strong enough to beat up Iron Man in a suit or the Hulk or Spider-Man or anybody, but he can just rally people together. But that's been overdone recently because they just pushed up Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, as the person who's in charge of it. Why would you bring that stupid bitch up when you have Captain America who can rally everyone? No one can follow Carol Danvers because she's a huge bitch. Like,
Yeah.
she's written as a piece of shit on purpose because she has problems like Tony Stark. So they put these characters aside and they let Captain America be in charge. But it was weird when you would read the comic books and Captain America was calling Carol Danvers captain and what should we do because you outrank me? And it's like, we're not in the military, bitch. Like, I need a real leader, not a person who has a ranking. And oh man, dude, it's fucking
No, yeah.
I'm
Like the
so
comics
just
have been freaking garbage, man. Like
yeah, I'm
we know what
struggling
they're
to care.
and that's again to my point. We know what they're doing because of what they've been doing. If this comic, let's say the comics have been perfect, and then we get a comic that like this, the Carol Danvers bullcrap, or Captain America killing off Bucky. What would we be talking about? Is like, what's going on? Like, what is there something that we're gonna get later on in the story that's gonna
Supposed to,
explain
right?
this? That's the kind of conversation we're supposed to have. Like, for instance, the Tom Holland Spider-Man trailer, right? People are talking about more of like if it's gonna be good because there's too many characters, what's the lore gonna be, all that stuff. With the difference between that conversation and the Lanterns conversation is like, yeah, it's an HBO Max show, and we're gonna have tits and dick and cussing, and everybody who's a freaking Green Lantern fan is not a fan of Green Lantern because they're expecting things to
All of that
be
weird shit.
sexual, whatever, explicit. They're expecting one of the greatest freaking superpowers to ever exist is your imagination. Like,
Yeah,
we
and
can
then the
all
director
connect
himself
to
said
that.
that it was a stupid fucking power
Yeah.
in the fucking interview. Did you see the interview?
Well, I did see the interview. Well, he said wait, his superpower is his imagination, and the fights are still close, huh? Which I thought
Yeah.
was funny. Like, I'll give him a point on that one. But like the problem is, and like I saw his apology on Instagram. Like, if you want to pull it
It's
up
so
and read it.
stupid. Yeah.
But it was only after his two, like, Grant Morrison and I forgot who else, his James Gunn's two comic book heroes crapped on James Gunn, and what's his name? What's the name of the freaking douchebag?
What,
That's
Jim Lee?
no, well, everybody craps on Jim Lee because he's a retard.
Yeah, it was
But
stupid, yeah.
the guy who's gonna be the showrunner of Lanterns, what's his name?
Oh yeah, the actor.
It's
I don't
like,
know. his
oh,
name.
Daniel
Pierre or
Lindelof,
something.
something Damon Lindelof,
Green
something
Lantern.
Lindelof. Yeah.
Lantern. I'll look it up. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, just to read, Captain Marvel turns evil, maybe. She already is evil. She's an evil
Kyle
whore.
Chandler
like, I hate
and
her.
Jon Stewart or Aaron Pierre.
No. I know who Aaron Pierre is. The showrunners, Tom King and I think Danny Elfman.
Oh, Chris Mundy.
No, he's the third one in. But there's Tom King and Danny. Just put Lantern showrunner.
I did, and it only gave me two. They gave me creators Tom King and Chris Mundy, but showrunner, is that what you said?
Yeah, showrunner. Your boy says, I'm telling you, these people in charge of the IPs have zero, and I mean zero interest in making quality product or
Oh,
making money.
Damien Lindelof.
Yeah,
Damon.
Damon, and they want clout in a small niche and cult community. They want to be immortalized. I don't know if you've read the article. Even Grant Morrison, like, he laid into it. He called Hollywood like an incest-filled like a circle jerk, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
these guys are taking the things we love that is popular, and again, like you said, zero interest making quality product. All they care is their best friend next to them jerking them off and be like, you did so well for the cause, for the message,
Yeah, for
for
the message or
you
whatever.
know, for whatever political aisle you're on. And I thought it was not completely fair, but I thought it was an appropriate concern when Paramount purchased Warner Brothers, and people like, hey, it's gonna be right leaning now and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, they bought a lot of stuff. And to take everything and only hire right leaning people, it's not gonna happen. You know,
Well, it's like I said
again,
last time.
all we want is them to come back to the middle. No more political stuff, just good storytelling. Just
Well,
wanting to put a story out there.
well, it's like I said the last time. I think I asked, like, we can kind of agree that Hollywood is very left,
Yeah,
and it ain't working. Whatever
it
it is,
ain't working.
yeah, they're
There's
in
been
they're
a
in the driver's
slight-
seat,
Yeah, there's been a
and
slight
it ain't
dip
working.
because they need to pay the banks back, and they need to make money, and a lot of actors' brand has switched. But and we could keep continuing this conversation, but good segue. What do you guys think about the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer?
Well, even before that, like,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if you heard about this comparing.
Killing my segue, dude.
No, fuck segues. Comparing the
I'm trying
idea
to keep this professional.
comparing the idea of it, like, that they're in the driver's seat and they're doing.
Yeah.
As of March 2026, AMC Entertainment stock has plummeted into multi-layer lows under $1 per share, declining through 66% over the past year.
Yep.
The drop is driven by weak fourth quarter's attendance, down 10%, high debt, and stock dilution due to the quality of sales, leading to fears of delisting and intensifying the industry's competition. Because it just goes back to the idea that I told you, movies suck. The movie experience sucks. Like, now you have to have 6D movies where, like, it's got to be like what's that thing at SeaWorld, the big sphere at
Splash?
Disneyland? No, the
I
big
don't
sphere.
know. The dome. I don't know what it's called.
Epcot. I don't know if you remember Epcot.
Yeah.
It was like a roller
I've
coaster
never
ride.
been. I know what you're talking about, though.
It was like a roller coaster ride, but you're going through like big theaters and you're getting to like see things while your cart's moving and giving air and breathing. And that's what movies need to be. If not, you're gonna pay like for those old like exotic dance rooms where you get to have one stripper dance in front of you, but they're behind glass. And you just get to see there and watch. That's going to be the next movie experiences where you're going to go to a large building and you're going to have independent rooms with screens and everybody's going to watch the same movie at the same time, but you get your own independent private room for your own little group of 6 people or whatever.
Yeah,
like you're not going to be in a movie theater. It's done. It's done. The $90 to go watch a film in IMAX, getting a hand job while you pay $30 for a large Coke. Like,
dude, there's theaters with beds, full blown beds.
Yeah, it's not gonna work no more. Like, I could just get that experience in my house
throughout the film.
Yeah.
Like, okay, look, here's the thing. I'm not, from all intents and purposes, it looks like the theater experience is dead. Exactly as it is, I agree, it is dead. Do I think it can, like, I'm not so arrogant to think that I know I have all the answers. I think there might be somebody out there that knows how to bring the theater experience back. Just because I don't know how to do it doesn't mean I'm gonna say that
I know how to do
it can never happen. You know,
you got to make good movies.
But like right now, it's first of all, make good movies.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, there has to be some sort of laws in place. Like right now, the law is if a movie isn't performing, you have 45 days to take it out of the theater. You could take it out of the theaters 45 days previous, because it is a business. Movie theaters, what they're trying to do is if you're going to release a movie, you have to pay for every movie theater a certain amount and how many months it's going to be out in the in that theater, right? So then that movie theater has security that like this movie is going to be 6 months 5 months, whatever, in this, and I don't have to go and figure out what's the next film or whatever, right? And then there's like a whole bidding war and all that fun stuff. Okay, if it's like, no, you have to wait 3 months before you can remove it and put it on streaming, that's another thing. And then like Amazon has exclusive rights within Hollywood that people literally in the same week that a movie launches, you can pay $10 for it to rent it at your home while it's still in theaters. Before that, it was like Vegas hotels only had that privilege.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So there's the law side of things, and then there's the cultural side of things. First of all, they need to bring back the culture of like, we can trust that, like, there has to be like new ratings. Like PG-13 means no gay stuff. PG-14, gay stuff. Whatever, like there has to be new stuff so that we can like really trust that we are gonna get, or we can actually choose what we're not gonna see at a movie theater for the first time. You know, I don't want to be surprised with some dude's butt. I don't even care if it's gay or not. I don't want to see man booty on my screen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm taking my kid to go watch, like, even though I think it was funny in Thor, I don't show, like, and it's just a butt, but I don't show my kids the Thor movie.
Yeah, because it's still a naked dude.
Against the glass, it's still a naked dude. Why would I see that? Why would? And they will think it's funny. I don't think their mind is like corrupted like ours. They'll think it's funny, haha. But you know, butts are funny. But I just don't want them to see it. Like, why would I actively want to
encourage
them to that? You know, so they have to bring back the trust of the paying customer to go back, spend their hard-earned money, not only leave the comfort of their own home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a movie theater, but I have a pretty solid TV. I don't have a sound system. The sound is just fine. And I get to pause the movie, go to the bathroom. I don't have to worry about teenagers being on their phone. I don't have to worry about people freaking doing whatever it is they're doing in a movie theater with strangers that's going to piss me off and take me out of the movie. I don't have to worry about that. So why would I spend $20 a pop on each person and have to try to sneak in candy? And you know, I got a family of 3 kids, and it's 5 of us. I'm at least going to be spending $120 just on the movie theater.
Yeah, you should have
alone
gone to
with snacks.
Should have gone to SeaWorld.
Rated
bro.
G for gay.
Yeah. Just should have gone to fucking Disneyland, dude.
Yeah. And well, like here,
Disney World.
This is a good point. He just made me think, like, the rated G thing. Freaking Zootopia 2 almost hit $2 billion.
Oh, nice.
And that's just came out, or like hit $1.5 billion or 1.4 billion. That's a lot of freaking money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
And it's just a G-rated freaking
Superman
animated
didn't get that.
film. And so there's still a market to go, and you could still make billion-dollar films. So I hate the whole argument of like there's no more billion-dollar films. No. Right now, if you make garbage, there's no billion-dollar films.
Look, I have a theory.
Yeah, what's up?
And it's like you said, like, I don't know how to fix this. I know how to fix this. You stop paying actors and directors like millions of dollars independently for them to make films that suck, and you only pay them after by the residuals that the company makes.
I'll do one better.
Yeah.
Like directors have to shell out a half of their money.
Yeah.
Like buying into
if it fails,
property for their, like, you're taking some risk.
Yeah, because that's the problem. I think it's like I think a lot of these people like it was like you talked about earlier, like the girl that's in Supergirl is making less money than Jason Momoa. Fucking Jason Momoa
Rightfully so, though.
But Jason Momoa as an actor hasn't done anything different since he started. Like, it's the same character that he plays. It's Liam Neeson, and I love Liam Neeson.
But the thing is, I can't hate on him because of popularity. Why do people like him? Because he takes off his shirt, he has abs, and girls love it.
Well, yeah, that's the G thing that you were talking about. Guy. That's the rated G part.
Yeah, he's an okay actor, right? But he has charisma. He has a brand. That's fine with me. Like, the market's the market. What does this girl have? The only thing I could think of is House of the Dragon in the beginning first season.
And she's pretty.
And she's okay. Like, she's all right. Like, she's cute.
She's a lady. She's pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, but like, it's like she, to me, with all the stuff that, it's kind of like Tom Holland before this movie, right? Everything we saw him, this is a 14-year-old boy in every film that we're ever gonna see.
Poor guy.
That's like Zendaya still hasn't moved on from her brand. Like she's like a year older now. Instead of 12 years old, she's 13-year-old. Like that's what she looks like. And if you like her, you're a freak. But my
Freak.
opinion. Yeah, but like am I gonna look at her the same way I'm gonna look at Haley Atwell? And yeah, there's a bias there because, like curves matter. Curves bring out femininity. But also Zendaya, like, she's skinny and annoying, and that's been her brand, and like almost every single thing. The only thing that I ever saw her like I thought was a little bit more mature and thing she did well was The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. I thought she did a good portrayal. But again, it's branding. That's why you want to see big stars in big movies. Like when directors start putting in like some skin in the game, anybody in any business, you start putting skin in the game, you're gonna be so careful with every freaking detail. Like look at Christopher Nolan. Because he wants an Oscar, he has to do all these
he has to play by the rules.
Yeah, he has to like race swap and gender swap a bunch of things from the Odyssey, which I call the Hoodacy,
The
Hoodacy, and and his movies in recent times have not been as good as the past ones. Like
the way they used to be.
Yeah, so it's like this is a guy who's like a king in Hollywood, has a good head on his shoulders, but again, he's drinking his own Kool-Aid, and he thinks that everything he's putting out is great. He doesn't have people, like sometimes you have so much success that you lose all your real friends, and you're only having yes men around you. Like, you're so great, just freaking sucking on your chode and all that stuff, right? Like it happened to George Lucas. I love the prequels, but in terms of writing quality, he had yes men around him. Every idea he had was freaking the best, right? So the big problem is that like when you're actually investing in stuff, and that's why it's so important for you to make your own money and then utilize your own money, because you have so much more care. You want to be involved, that you no longer care about what your best friend's going to think. You care about if this is objectively the greatest thing you've done so far.
If it's your actual work.
Yeah. That's why like it's easy to get mad when somebody points out something they dislike, but objectively it makes sense or is good. It's like, okay, like I understand why you don't like it, but all right. And Zack Snyder is one of those people. He has done some great work. James Gunn has done some great work. Eventually, all these dudes, they start hanging around people that are just stroking them.
Yep. They don't get no pushback.
Like everybody had an agenda, and I'm not saying they don't have anything to blame. We still got to blame them. But now they're like infested with the agenda. Like, how many Hollywood stars or actors were somewhat normal, and now they're completely, on with either side of the aisle, like super political, and they don't work with anybody who's different from them or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, I just yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, just knowing how everything's been going is kind of like Eddie. Hey, what's up, Ed? Says wrestling terms. Roman Reigns is at the top earner, but is not a better wrestler in the ring. Says then say Chad Gable. Yeah. It's just crazy, man. But then it's gonna switch. Watch the political agenda happen when the superhero movie comes out. That everyone's gonna be like, well, this is what we mean by for women and men and the pay gap and all this other stuff. Like, it's just going to be more political jargon that people are going to throw out in the open.
There are things like it's a good thing he brought up sports. There are things that when they are objectively shown, there's a shift. Like YouTube is a great catalyst. Like bodybuilding, I was really into bodybuilding, right? It's not even a sport, it's a pageant, right? But we call it a sport. You're showing off your muscle, and it's objective. It's subjective. I mean, it's not objective at all. Like sometimes, and we've seen it multiple times where like that had to be rigged. You know, I'm not gonna say the name. I knew a trainer that he had this top athlete that was, you know, top 5 in the Olympia and whatever, right? He also worked with Arnold. I knew this guy. He went into a competition and one of the judges went up to him and was like, "Look, man, your athlete looks way better than the winning athlete," because like it was after judging and everything.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna beat this other trainer's athletes because that guy donated so much
Yeah, there's politics.
to the sport, to the event,
The event
all that
itself.
stuff.
Yeah, there's
And like
politics involved.
he has more top athletes trained than he did. So it's like we gotta give it to one of his athletes, you know? And like the fans, especially because of YouTube, caught on. And for a long time, and there's a slight shift again, but for a long time, we saw them start liking a sport that's completely different, but had some of the same base. A lot of bodybuilding fans went to start being fans of the strongmen.
Yep.
And Eddie Hall,
grew up, yeah, blew up.
Yeah, like all these guys blew up, you know, and I don't even contribute it to Game of Thrones. Half Thor blew up because of Game of Thrones. But the strongman sport itself blew up because it is objective. Did you move the weight? Yes or no? It's on film. He moved the weight in the proper form. Fantastic. Right?
Yep.
Like UFC. Like Dana White is known for not liking certain champions.
Yep.
And he roots for them to lose, but he's not going to take away their belt. You know?
Yeah, he's not going to dick them,
if you get knocked out, you got knocked out. Like there's no...
Yeah, you can't fuck it up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way to be like, that wasn't a knockout. The dude is drooling on the floor. That's a knockout. What are you talking about? You know, you think you're talking to a complete retard if they start trying to make that argument. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So in Hollywood, when they start, I don't know what exactly is gonna be the shift. It might be an actor, because sometimes we see an actor and we know for sure that actor, like Henry Cavill right now, he's like the king of the nerds.
Yep.
He's the representative of the nerds in Hollywood.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
We know that he's gotten big enough. I'm not saying he's giant and a superstar, but he's gotten big enough that he tells studios off that, like, I'm not working for this project no more because it goes against the source material. And that's the whole reason we have this project going. Like, we were supposed to get Warhammer TV show like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And he's still fighting them on it because they want to have female custodians. They want to have, you know, like
yeah, it's more against, and it sucks because it's Gamers Workshop that's fucking it up.
Yeah.
Well, they're going against their own agenda and what they used as a template, and they're trying to, like, I guess, modernize all the way their whole thinking pattern is. And it only happened after, because it happened to the Lord of the Rings too, is when these IPs start to be seen in such a bigger light.
Yeah.
Then everybody wants to ride its coattails. Then everybody wants a piece of the pie. Like, that's just what it does. And that's the same thing with comic books, because again, I always fall back on this, and Brian always laughs on it, but he kind of like Taika Waititi when he did Thor Love and Thunder. You know, if it wasn't for Thor Ragnarok, him getting the opportunity, no one would have brought him in to make the second film. Like, and that's the same thing with Thor itself.
Yeah.
Thor itself is such a big character, like, someone else would have done that movie justice. But Taika Waititi was like, nah, watch me fuck this up for you guys. Like, he even admitted it out in the open that he did it.
Well, he said before the movie came out.
Yeah, let me ruin your IP in a couple seconds.
In a minute, baby.
Yeah, and he did it, you know, and now look at him. Can't even fucking make a film with anybody giving a fuck about him anymore.
Well, like, the problem is, again, giving people too much freedom. Like, yeah, did he do a good job, Ragnarok? I don't like the movie, but it's a good movie. It's well written.
It was better than what they did with Thor at the time.
At the time, yes. Well, I think it fixed all his arcs where it's like, guys, this is solidified. He no longer, and then they effed him over on Endgame again. But, like, he's found himself. He's gone through trauma, whatever.
Well, The Dark Ages wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, it was dark.
I didn't say it was good.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you even mentioned it.
No, what the freak are you talking?
Yeah, I don't even think you mentioned it. But that's the thing. It's like, that was where we were left with Thor in the first place. So with Ragnarok, it kind of like reinvigorated the character. He wasn't this like this I
Shell
don't
of-
know, like cosplayer.
He wasn't one dimensional anymore.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
depth. He had layers. He had, he was
and,
he had
and it's
purpose.
fine. Like, do I like seeing Hulk throw a tantrum? Freak no. But in terms of writing and the comedic element, it worked. It
Yeah.
did well. Like, I still have trouble. Like, why did like no guy? And remember, at the time, no guy was allowed to hit a woman. The whole like Me Too stuff. Like, Hollywood really made sure that like even bad guys didn't hit women in
Yeah.
most of the aspects. And so like nobody hit freaking Hella. And but I digress. The point is, he made a good film, and then they just gave him free reign to do whatever the hell he wanted because they didn't have a plan anymore. They thought that us fans are so stupid that because of Endgame's success, we're just going to freaking choke on whatever they shove down our throats. And that's one of the reasons, other than trying to shove a message down our throat, one of the reasons we've had bad quality is because they do think that us fans are retarded.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna spend money and go eat it up anyways. And we're not
Yeah,
gonna revolt, like we're not gonna revolt against it, right? Which means we're not gonna picket the idea of, hey guys, you know what? Let's all rally together and just not buy a ticket. But then they they got put in the situation where they just started making such shitty films that people just got tired of them, man.
I mean, like it's just that it isn't just about being tired. It's like we still crave heroes. We still crave, like certain comics to
quality.
be adapted.
We crave quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're craving quality.
And like we've been starved of just like the good guy.
Yeah.
Like just a wholesome story of like somebody trying to do good in the world with
but
the power that they have.
But it's ignorant to think that we, outside of all of this nature or outside of the nature of filmmaking, are the only ones oblivious or not oblivious to this, because these guys are not oblivious to this.
No, I don't
They
think
know
that,
exactly
but I think,
why their movies are failing.
Yeah, no, I think they do, but they don't want to admit it because they're prideful.
Yeah.
Like nobody apologizes for like bad quality films. Nobody
nobody does.
One of the reasons the Sonic movie did good is because we actually had a director that was humble enough to be like, we're going back to the drawing board. We're going to delay this for like a year to 2 years until we get it right. And they released the same trailer where Sonic looked like Sonic. Because again, the reason they thought that it was going to work in the first place is like, we have to make it real. Just the same thing as the X-Men suits, the
black to yellow and blue.
Yeah.
To yellow.
And then they're like, oh no, people want to see the video game exactly as it is, like come to life, And then it's not even a good movie, but because like the director actually cared about the fans, people went to go support it. And that's why it has 3 movies, not because of quality, because there is a part in all this, and it is because of them. Before, when I was a kid, and even like my dad, we didn't know who was the director. We would see like Arnold's in a movie, we're gonna go watch it. Denzel Washington's in a movie, we're gonna go watch it. Right?
Yeah, I'm like that with comic books.
Yeah. And now everybody, I have to know who's the writer. I have to know what they've done in the past, like what their politics are, so that I know what I'm gonna get myself into.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like even like James Gunn saying we're adapting this Superman run, and then we saw the movie. It's a lie. He took elements of it and then just made his own slop.
Yeah.
And like this is James Gunn's Superman.
Well, you know what? Going back a little bit, even with the Sonic thing, the other problem with it too is the audience and the generation we're in cannot. It's such like a meme generation that they end up, people don't know what they want. Like people don't know what they want because of the fact is like, yes, we were able to rally enough to bully a director into switching a design of a character into something that was positive, right? So Sonic, they changed his eyes. They made it look more like the cartoon. They didn't give it the one eyeball, but they separated it, but just made it more Mickey Mouse or cartoony, right? But then they had the movie Chippendales Rescue Rangers come out, and they brought Ugly Sonic back. And he was this guy that was now going to Comic Cons. And I don't know if you saw the Chippendales movie.
I didn't see the movie. I thought it was like somebody using AI.
No,
on the
that's
movie?
100% in the movie. The
That's
ugly
all.
Sonic is in it, and he's like this kind of like greasy, like an Italian version of
Yeah, yeah.
Sonic. And he's like, yo, yeah, man, they cut me from that movie, but it's all good. Like now I'm doing like a cops movie where the SWAT team has me go with them. And it's like, what the fuck? So now he's like this like Joe Rogan.
That's actually pretty cool. That's funny.
Well, that's the problem with it is now people wanted to see a movie about ugly Sonic.
Yeah.
Because then they saw this character brought out that was a degenerate version of their hero, and they were like, oh man, well, what if? Like, oh, we should get a movie about. I don't want to fucking see a movie about ugly Sonic, but I do because it's so stupid and funny.
Like
Original.
I want to see satire. Like I would love to like. Oh, they're pretending that this Sonic is just like a real person in the real world. Like, oh,
yeah,
they
like
took
just
me out
like
of the
he's just
casket.
like he's not
Like that-
fast.
that's
Like he's
funny.
just a dude. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
looks like this, and it's funny. Like that, I thought that was actually really hilarious. But like that's the problem with this is like we don't know what we want. Like
But
when
look, I think there's some truth to that, but I think that's more like in terms of life, and you could contribute that to being too involved in social media and all that. But I do think we got to give this current generation some credit because like you got to blame the parents. I don't blame the kids
yeah, of
for
course not. They
being
don't know any better.
ridiculous or idiotic. Like it sucks when they become adults and now they're just full-blown morons. But their
Yeah.
parents did that to them, right? So like we gotta blame our generations of like they raised these retards, they raised these imbeciles, right? That like they're willing to cut off their own dicks so that they can say that they're part of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's our
crazy.
generations did that, not the new generation. So,
Right.
but I also see online that the new generation are sick of being called worthless just because they might, be masculine instead of feminine, right?
Bro, that's because that
women want to
generation.
be
I don't know
women
if you
want to be
remember that.
women and men want to be men.
Yeah, I don't know
and
if you remember that either with
yeah.
this generation at the ugly Sonic time is
Mm.
they bullied the Morbius director into re-releasing the film thinking it was good. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like this generation, like, or that generation at the time, it's Morbin time and all that other shit. Like, this dude was like, yo, re-releasing it because it was such a failure, because you guys wanted back, and then no one went to the second time it was re-released.
Again, I think it's because first there's no marketing, but like the reason why the Snyder Cut was so successful is because we knew 100% that Zack Snyder had a very specific vision. I still think the Snyder Cut sucked.
Yeah, the vision sucked.
The vision sucked, but like his daughter, off herself, and
yeah, she committed suicide.
Unceremoniously fired. Yeah, I just don't know what words we want to use because of YouTube and all that stuff. But then he was fired, and the studio just be like, take all these pieces that we somewhat filmed, and bring back Henry Cavill, and we don't even care if he has a mustache or not. CGI that, and then let's put it out there because we need money, right?
Yeah,
like they did all this, and even Josh Whedon, like he's a piece of garbage, but he is a good director. He is a good writer.
Yep.
And I think like there's just too many bad things happen at once. Again, most directors are garbage people, but that's why he's not back in. He even the beginning of his own Justice League film has a homeless guy that just says, "I tried." I'm like, I got your message, Josh. I got it.
Got it.
So when that had success, it's like, oh, we know. Like, what was the first film to do that? The Donner Cut, Superman 2. We're like, yo, the studio got involved. I have an original cut. Would you guys like to see that? And then the fans were like, hell yeah, we want to see something that was actually good. The theatrical cut sucked. And now we know that studios involve themselves so much that there's potentially really good films out there. Well,
yeah,
what was the one that wasn't like the extended cut of The Lord of the Rings?
Mm-hmm.
It was the theatrical cut was incredible. It was. But then when we saw the extended cut get released a few years later, we're like, why would they ever do that? It's because they wanted more screen time, more butts and seats at one time. Yep. Because a 3-hour film takes away like 2.5 screenings per theater,
The theater, yeah.
per day, right? So if they cut it down, then more people can watch the film, right? It makes sense in a business sense, but we now, like, I can't even watch the theatrical cut of Lord of the Rings. The extended cut is much better. So there is the element of like, well, we don't trust the studios and they give us slop. Who knows? Maybe the director actually did have something great going on.
True.
You know, like Sam Raimi, he hasn't released his script for Spider-Man 3, but he's very vocal on like, that's not the Spider-Man 3 I intended.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
wanted
even
the
plan. I didn't even plan on having Venom in the film.
yeah, which sucked.
Like, yeah. But going to the Spider-Man trailer.
Mm.
What did you think? I think let's talk about in terms of the trailer,
Mhm.
and then in terms of lore, and what are your like first impressions of it?
Out of all the movies that we've had so far, Spider-Man, I think this is my most anticipated one.
Mm.
Because I think that they should have started at this type of Superman or Spider-Man. I'm sorry, they should have started at this type of Spider-Man.
agree.
Like I feel like they fantasized him into the superhero genre films, that they made him bigger as a superhero. Which, I mean, he is technically the Superman of the Marvel universe. That is,
He's
like,
a Superman and Batman of the Marvel.
Yeah. So,
universe, or Marvel,
but he's not like a cosmic character. Like,
No.
that's what they're doing right now in the comic books, and it sucks. They made him a
Dude,
cosmic
every time
entity,
they've done it, it's never really worked. The cloning, the
yeah.
ultimate.
When
it's
you
like-
make him a grounded character and you make him feel relatable, like as in a regular human guy that's just going through some shit, I think he really hits home to where he's supposed to be. What makes him such a good character is his flaws. And then he goes out and he does this Spider-Man thing, and then you see how genuinely good he is. And that's what makes him a marvelous superhero.
Yeah, he's a by heart a regular guy that is just trying to make it in his life, that's been dealt, pretty much the same hand that most regular people are dealt. But he has this responsibility and he chooses to do good.
Yeah.
And he's like good above his own life.
And it's crazy because, like, I know that you mentioned Batman and Superman, but I mentioned him as just Superman and you mentioned Batman. But in technicality, like, the way he treats his villains is almost like the Flash.
Oh, no,
he
doesn't really have like popularity. I'm not talking.
No. Well, I'm talking about like just the character, like Tribe itself. Like, he doesn't really hate his villains. Like he's copacetic towards them. Like, he copes with them. He understands that. He tries to relate them, then treat them like normal people in Brooklyn. Like, he doesn't really like push it to be like, you're my villain, I'm gonna fight you, Captain America, Red Skull, two ideologies fighting. He doesn't treat it that way. Treats it very nonchalant. Like if he was to show up and the Scorpion's there robbing a bank, and then he goes, "Hey bro, what are you doing? Like, you should stop." And if the Scorpion looked at him and goes, "Hey, you know what? You're right, dude. Like, I'm sorry." Like, Spider-Man's gonna go, "All right, we'll just put it back, like, and we'll just, I'll cover the cost of the windows or whatever." Like, we'll just say
there ain't no cost being covered.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's gonna rob the bank too.
Like, he's just gonna be like, "All right, cool. Like, we'll just go home. Like, fuck off. Like, don't do anything stupid." Like, but then it's like, the writing is what makes the villains, more like, and his villains aren't that unrelatable either. Most of them have real life issue problems that they deal with that they just don't know how to handle. Like, all the characters in Spider-Man are written fairly well, like really, really well.
Like he has other than Batman, like the most stacked and greatest rogue gallery
ever.
Yeah.
And
like,
I feel that with the trailer, it really puts a lot on his plate because there's so much going on. But like, we're like fucking 20 years into Marvel. Like, this is what it is. Like, every other week, the world is like, oh, it's, the world's gonna
not
blow
20
up.
years. We're like,
well, it's like 15 or 14, or it's fucking 20 years, dude. Like,
almost.
Yeah, but it's like every other film is like, Oh, there's a world-ending experience, guys. I'm really sorry. You're gonna have to not go to work today, like, or you're still got to show up to your shift, even though there's a fucking Galactus walking through New York. It's like, oh shit, there
Yeah.
was the Hulk that was destroying Manhattan, and they're
Or
like,
Dark World.
well, you're still fucking 10 minutes late to your fucking Starbucks job. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that world is, it's ridiculous, like at all the stuff that happens. So when you're looking at the Spider-Man trailer and there's the Punisher, it's him dealing with Mary Jane or MJ and Ned that they just got back from MIT. So now they all live in the same apartment together.
I don't
And
think they
then
got
there's-
back from MIT. I don't think this is like
No,
4
they did.
years
They
after
they
the
did
fact.
4 years after MIT. This is 4 years.
Really?
Yeah, and then it goes. Then the Tarantula's there, and then Boomerang is there, and then the Scorpion's there, and the Kingpin's there. This Daredevil team is
Like,
there.
how is
The
it?
Punisher's there. The Hand
But
is
how is
there.
the 4 years after if Peter's still in college?
Well, if Peter goes to regular college.
I thought it was like this was like only like a year after, and he's still
Well,
like,
they
you know.
on their in the phone they're talking about their years at MIT.
So that was just their acceptance.
Well, that was them talking about being at MIT.
No, like they said this is the greatest day of my life. You got accepted into MIT.
I thought they were already there. No, let me see. Let me check. What's it called? Spider-Man.
Because remember, in No Way Home, they weren't getting accepted because they were friends with Peter.
Yeah,
As
Spider-Man.
stupid
What's
as
the
that
name of
plot
the
line is, but yeah,
Brand New Day?
Brand New Day, yeah.
Ned and MJ, MIT. What does it say? Let's see. That's gonna tell me to watch the fucking trailer, dude. I don't want to.
Well, it's just the beginning. Like, listen to it. I'm not gonna. You don't have to put it up. Sony's copywriting the hell out of it. Usually,
Yeah.
everybody reacts to it, and I reacted to it because Disney doesn't copyright. Like, they're actually, as much as I hate Disney, they are not a copyright god. So
Yeah, because I
I
want
really
to say
respect them
that
for
they're at MIT or they went to MIT, and then they're either in like a break or there's something, because that's when they meet up and they get the hotel or the apartment together.
Yeah, but that
'Cause they have
doesn't
to
make
move.
sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Like, if they go move back to Queens,
Mhm.
your lease usually isn't a month to month.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's so convenient they live right across the hall of Peter Parker. Like, I thought it would make more sense if he went up there to visit because he really wanted to talk to him. And like there was a party and then he just lied like, "Oh, I live down the hall." And then like that's it. I don't think they're gonna do it because they're so attached to Zendaya and Ned. I don't want Zendaya in this anymore. I want the real white redheaded MJ, Mary Jane Watson. A real MJ, and I'm okay even if they bring in a Gwen Stacy that's like the spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, look, it says just around.
yeah.
It says it's been 4 years since No Way Home, so that means Ned and MJ went to MIT, completed their studies, and moved back to the same exact building as Peter back in
Oh
New
my
York.
gosh, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
So he's just stalking them. He's just stalking them so that way he can
And
move
like,
in with them. And
look,
he's trying to
I
make it
thought-
happen.
And what bothered me about the trailer was he still wants to tell him even though he knows the danger. And I thought we already got over that at the end of No Way Home, where he went to the freaking diner and he had the letter, and then he noticed that like, no, their life is good without me, and I
Yeah,
should
but
leave him behind.
They
and that's
they
it.
weren't the problem. The problem was
The problem is knowing
fucking-
the identity.
Yeah, the problem was the fucking Mysterio guy. Like they weren't the
Well-
problem with them knowing who he was.
He noticed that like his villains, if he continues as Spider-Man, anybody that knows his identity is
Yeah,
targeted.
that's the
He
trope.
just lost.
Yeah, that's
he
the
just
writer's
lost,
trope, right? They're
yeah,
gonna
well,
find out who his love is, and they're gonna attack him. And it's the same thing as like the Aunt May when he reveals his identity. Like this was the way that they revealed his identity instead of doing it in Civil War, which is where they were supposed to, right? In the comic books in Civil War, Peter Parker, Tony Stark is like, "Yo, look at my boy," and he takes off his mask. He's like, "I'm Peter Parker." Kingpin's like, who the fuck is this guy? Kill him. And they were going to shoot him, and then they kill Aunt May. And that's what makes Brand New Day and all this other stuff in the comics. But in the films,
Yeah.
Mysterio's like, oh, fuck this kid. I'm going to go and expose him. And he exposes him. And that's when all the people start realizing who it is. So the spell itself did its job.
Yeah, it did its job.
Like it 100% did its job. Now he just has to reintroduce himself, because it doesn't matter if they find out who he is. They can keep a secret because they did before. But
They did before, but like it's still leaked by a villain. That's the thing.
yeah, he
Like,
just
so-
gets a
so-
do-over.
So it's just yeah, like he gets it's ridiculous. There's almost like zero repercussions.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I thought they should do if they're gonna make Ned a hobgoblin, which I've
They're not.
never really liked.
They're not.
Well, like they insinuated that in No Way Home, where he like, I promise, like when he's like asking around when they're doing the lab stuff, he's like, oh, what happened to your best friend? Oh yeah, he tried to kill me. And then the other one's like, yeah, my best
yeah, they're
friend
not gonna
also
do
tried
it.
to kill me.
That kid would have had to have continued with his diet and all this other stuff, and he kind of failed at that. So let's just be
Oh,
honest. Let's call it
100%.
call a spade a spade. That guy
Yeah,
in the
but this is a
trailer does not look like he
studio,
lost
dude.
weight.
Yeah, this again. I think if they're gonna do that storyline where Ned becomes Hobgoblin, right? First of all, he does need to lose weight, or I'm just gonna call him the Pumpkin.
Yeah,
That's it.
the
right?
pumpkin.
Yeah, the pumpkin. But let's say he does lose the weight. I think it would be great if, like, okay, he's going to school, he's matured, right? He's now an adult, and maybe he's really for like freedom or something, right? Where, like when you find out that somebody has the power or has erased your mind because it was inconvenient for your life and mine, like you don't get to do that. That is like that's a big moral question. Like I get it because you at the time thought this was the best thing for the world and for you, but you have to live with with your actions. Your actions have consequences. You don't just get to have these superpowers or these superpowers and it's unregulated. And then I think it would be good to introduce the government, which is always Marvel's biggest villain and DC's, where they like and that's the best way to introduce the X-Men, where the government's like, we found out that there's a sorcerer with the power on our planet to erase our minds with a spell. And so we can't have you guys just running around and like unchecked. Like what else has happened in the world that we're not aware of? And you just wiped our minds.
Yeah, that was the
clean,
Sokovia Accords, though.
So yeah, but again, they don't even touch on that anymore. And I get it because of the 5-year blip. So they had other things to worry about. But now that the X-Men's being introduced and we know that the government hates the X-Men, this would be the only time that they could actually explain that better than the comics. Because the comics was like, yeah, we love you, Captain America. You were a social experiment or science experiment. Or we love you, Iron Man. You have like built this armor. We love you, Hulk. And then they're like, mutants are like, oh yeah, I was born this way. And everybody's like, F you.
Yeah, you
Like,
didn't work for those powers.
Yeah, you
bitch.
didn't work for these powers. Screw you're a freak.
Screw those guys that live on the moon. Fuck
know?
Black Bolt, the Inhumans.
Yeah, damn. So
They at least have to go through a fucking a crystal or a fog and some Terrigen mist. Yeah,
well, like they could do that, and I think it'd be pretty solid. Again, kills and day off. Don't need her.
Well, you don't need to bring her back because she's not even supposed to be MJ. Like Mary Jane.
Not
they
only
just
she's not
kind of
supposed
like
to be Mary Jane Watson, she's just MJ. She's a worthless character. Like I like Ned, but that's me. That's just my taste. Like I like the guy. He's funny.
yeah, he's
That's
funny.
it. But
he's the same thing as the Mexican dude from Ant-Man.
Irrelevant. Yeah,
He's the Mexican guy from Ant-Man.
actually,
The one
he's
that's
essential. Okay.
no, like Ned to me is like he's the comedy relief, but like they really fucked up his character for me and No Way Home.
No Way Home. They were nothing.
Yeah,
They
well,
were
he
you
happened
take them
to
out
be
of the film,
biggest-
and the film still happens.
Well, he fucking was the biggest MacGuffin that learned how to use a sling ring faster
Yeah,
than fucking Doctor
ridiculous.
Strange, dude.
Ridiculous,
They just
dude.
shit all over that theory in
Yeah,
moment in history.
No Way Home has a bunch of issues, mainly being Ned and Zendaya.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, but in terms of the trailer, I think this trailer, obviously, I wanted to talk to Derpy about this, but I think even if you hate it, it did a better job than the Lanterns did.
Well,
You
Lanterns
want,
is a
you
fucking
know.
TV show that's gonna be like on Apple Plus or whatever. Like, no one
No,
gives a
no,
shit
no. It's
about
gonna be
that.
on HBO Max, but like I'm talking
No
about
one
like,
gives a shit
okay,
about that show. Like, I don't want to be a dick
exactly.
about it, but no one's gonna give a shit about the Lantern show. Like,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. But it's like if it was just called the Green Lanterns and we saw some green with the same trailer and them in a suit and not that garbage suit that we saw,
Yeah.
it would actually do the job of maybe making you interested in a Green Lantern story.
Yeah, but like
Because that,
even
like, if you're interested in that, you're interested in just small town cop story.
yeah, but
This, you're
like even
interested
with
in
that, it's
Spider-Man.
like the Lantern himself as a character is still. It's like Hawkman. Like no one gave a fuck that
Yeah.
Hawkman was in the fucking Black Adam movie. Like they just needed a dude that was strong that could kind of do some stuff. Like that's
Well,
what
like,
Green Lantern has been across the board. And I know people will be like, "No, Hal Jordan is the best Green." I don't give a fuck about Hal Jordan. Like every time I see him, he's like cannon fodder. He's a dude in a jet that kamikazes himself into something. That and then you're like,
I
"Oh, that was that
disagree.
dude." You're like, "Oh, there's that guy. There's that Green Lantern dude. Look, he just smashed into a wall. Like he didn't get the lantern this time, but he's gonna kill himself or whatever." Like that's his whole role is he's just willing to kill himself for a purpose. Like
Look,
I don't
okay.
give a shit.
Then let me phrase it this way. The Lanterns trailer didn't attract the Green Lantern fans.
No,
The
fuck no.
Spider-Man trailer did attract the Spider-Man fans.
I think so.
Even if you're not a fan of Tom Holland, I think it did attract the Spider-Man fans.
Yeah.
Right? That's where I'm saying the Lanterns trailer
True.
screwed up. They didn't attract the fans that they should be attracting.
I feel like with the Spider-Man trailer, they kind of got it right again, where they're kind of making it feel like the Andrew Garfield and the Tom Holland movies. Like it's not over sensationalized. It's not over
Yeah,
sensationalized.
well,
It's very grounded. Looks cool, looks fun, looks Spider-Man-y. Looks like he's in the
here's thing.
neighborhood again.
I like seeing Frank Castle because I know that he, like, his first appearance was in Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
But and like the good thing about the trailer, what it did, it made you ask questions like, how much time has the Spider-Man and Frank Castle have a relationship? You know, and
I mean,
then
they're
the
on a
other
first name
question,
basis.
yeah, and then the other thing is like, well, Spider-Man's going through the metamorphosis, and I think Disney, as studios are petty, Disney wanted Tom Holland Spider-Man to be better than all the Spider-Mans before. So the first scene is Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Giving him organic web shooters is, I think, in their mind, is to take away from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. They're trying to make him the best of the best of the best, right?
Well, they just no. I mean,
Which
that's
makes
one
sense.
part. Yeah.
Business-wise, it makes sense. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't do it. I'm saying that this is most likely why they did it. Okay, well, we're getting Tarantula, Boomerang, the Hand, and Scorpion.
Yeah.
Scorpion should be in a helmet. The Hand shouldn't be in this because I get it, they're in New York. But Spider-Man would wipe the floor with ninjas.
And he is. Like he's gonna beat the living shit out of
Again,
all
but
of
when
them.
you see the trailer, I do subscribe to the idea that they edited out and Daredevil is probably in there because the actor that plays Matt Murdock was announced as one of the actors in this film.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
yeah, I do disagree with the not having, like, I've always thought it made sense to have organic web shooters. And Tobey Maguire actually talked about it when he got cast as Spider-Man, where the reason why organic web shooters, they went with that because they did have the prop and they developed the cartridges and everything. Was like, well, if he's smart enough to make this, wouldn't he be smart enough to invent something that would take them out of poverty, and then he never needed to go to the ring and wrestle? And so it was like, I think he did better than the comics. I truly do believe that. I think the organic web shooters are a good thing. Now, do I think Tom Holland needed to have organic web shooters? No, like his Spider-Man. But fine, we're getting it. It plays into the evolution of him get in the cocoon and being the man spider or whatever.
Well, it's what do you do?
Yeah.
You've already given him the fucking Crimson Spider outfit or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
you already given him his ultimate version.
Also, just to say to Amityville,
yeah,
it's not going against the comic history.
Yeah.
because I'm not destroying the character in and of itself. Tom Holland's Spider-Man, up until this point, has gone against comic history in the whole MCU. But when, like for instance, Green Lanterns, in their first comics, they did hang up the suit. It wasn't made by the Ring.
Mhm.
And then later on, the Ring became a communicator. It wasn't a communicator at first. So there's a progression that comics can have.
Yeah.
Like if you're Spider-Man, and then you no longer have Uncle Ben, you no longer have parents, Aunt May is young, you're getting your suit by a billionaire, I would say all that goes against the comics of who Spider-Man is, because there are innate things that are Spider-Man, his background, how he gets bullied in school, the choices he makes, the environment that he lives in, right?
Yeah.
If you take Peter Parker out of New York, and you're like, now this comic run is going to be in Chicago, you can't write him the same because the environment
It's
is different.
different.
If he was raised there, he's going to speak differently, he's going to
Yeah.
act
It's
differently,
going to be nurtured
all
differently.
that stuff, right? So just the fact of like giving him, this isn't giving him invisibility. This isn't giving him, like the ability to grow arms or legs. This is just giving him web shooters. Where like if anything, this is going to make him OP, right? Because he's not only super intelligent, but now he has organic web shooters, which he doesn't need to. No, like you could like it, but like I agree that there's some things you don't change, but I think this, having the cartridges, it's fun and all, but having web shooters, nobody's thinking about it when he's using his webs and he's swinging across the building. Like web shooters add for a more interesting story, because if you run out, now he's in a different type of situation, right? Like he can't use the same fighting styles as he would if he had full on web shooters. So, oh, by the way, that's nowhere. You went way off the rails, man. That's nowhere near having Superman kill or Batman kill.
Yeah, but
Like,
I do understand where he's coming from. They're like, even to this day, I think Spider-Man still has web shooters.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like I'm okay with
and
web
it
shooters.
happens. It happens in sometimes, which I think Amityville should take into consideration. During the metamorphosis, this dude's going to change into having 6 arms and fucking turn into a full-on spider. Like, I guarantee that the organic spider webs are going to be a side effect of all of this stuff that's happening. But the question is will Marvel go back and change it back to him using cartridges after, all the metamorphosis is done because they fixed the challenge, or will they keep it because it's convenient for him not to be needing to switch out his cartridges and film? Because that's the only reason why they're probably going to do this, is because you can't have it where he's doing a bunch of stuff and then all of a sudden he has to go click and then re-put them in and then, start up. It's like, that's why in John Wick, the dude always shoots fucking 40 bullets before he reloads after every fight. Yeah. Like, your brain doesn't click because there's so much action going on. And I think that might be the reason why they're going this way. I don't think it's to really harp on, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Again, this is the ultimate version of Spider-Man. This kid's originally supposed to be, he's going to die because they're going to bring in Miles Morales in this world.
Maybe.
No, 100%. I'm telling you, I'm making a bet right now that this Tom Holland is going to die. Yeah, not now.
Actually,
but he's going to die. And the reason why is because he's the perfect version of Spider-Man. He knows all the supervillains by name because he got to meet every one of them in No Way Home. These major villains, right? Ned, you don't have Osborn. In fact, everybody's talking about the Ezra character that's in Ahsoka that's macking on Zendaya. That's the same guy that played Ezra. And everyone's being like, oh, that's Osborn. But the moment he hears the name Osborn, he's automatically going to put it to the Green Goblin guy. He's going to know exactly who the fuck that is. Same thing of Osborn. That's why Octavius is switched out for Green or for Hulk Bruce Banner, because the moment Octavius comes out, he knows exactly who this fucking guy's going to be in his universe. He knows who these people are supposed to be in the other universes. He already has a one-up on most of his villains. Of course, not the
I wouldn't say
Kingpin.
most.
I would say most.
that
His main
he has the
main ones that are the
Six
biggest
down
problems.
practically.
Yeah, because he
Right.
doesn't know who the lizard guy's going to be. He doesn't know who the Vulture is. He doesn't know who Morbius is. He doesn't know who the Kingpin is, even though Kingpin's pretty obviously a villain. But like he doesn't know
the
most of these.
Hobgoblin.
But he doesn't need
you
to
know.
know the Hobgoblin. You can't have the Hobgoblin without the Green Goblin, because it's his technology that
Yes,
creates the character in the
but
first
if you
place.
stop the Green Goblin, it doesn't mean you're stopping the Hobgoblin. Like if you
Well,
stop
the kid's
Green Goblin from happening-
making Death Star Legos. He's not making fucking Oscorp fucking military items. You know what I mean?
because
Like,
we're talking about Ned. No, I
Yeah.
get that. Look. I totally I see the logic.
yeah,
I am not sure they'll do that because across take the animation across the Spider-Verse, it did really well, right?
yeah.
The problem with it, what right after is people were like, I don't want to see Peter Parker as a loser, and killing him off was a bad idea. Because it propped up those comics. Miles Morales was never popular in the comics, ever.
Well, fucking Miles Morales was
know.
never in the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse?
No, he was never in the original comic book, The Spider-Verse.
Yes.
They
'cause
rewrote.
Miles Morales is
They
the newer
rewrote. They
concept.
took the
Yeah.
title just to install Miles Morales. The original Spider-Verse
yeah.
and the Totem
No.
and the multiverse never had a Miles
Dude,
Morales.
I know that. I know.
So this is
But,
this
like,
is where you
but
need
I'm
to take the
saying-
concept
but
of
I'm
like
saying-
what they're
I'm
doing.
saying, like this is their most popular character that they have in the entire MCU.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think they're gonna kill him off anytime soon. Do I think that there's potential to kill him off and bring in Miles Morales? Yes, 100%. They already hinted at it. No Way Home.
Yeah.
Also, they keep talking about multiverse stuff. There's gonna be an incursion. We hear the whisperings of they're actually gonna reboot the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Right. There's
Good.
a lot of things that could happen. But I'm saying in isolation to this movie, right? To this trailer, the trailer, I'm glad with all the scenes that they use because it doesn't feel like we know anything of what the plot's gonna be. It actually makes you have a lot of questions. So therefore, that's what we should be talking about, and that's what we are talking about, right? Like this is what is supposed to happen when a trailer comes out. Not if it's gay or woke or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what do we want from it? What's the lore? What's coming out of it? Like when I saw the buildings, when he's like fighting Frank or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, was that just regular construction or damage from the tank, or was it construction from the 5-year blip? And we're gonna still see like.
No, it's from the Century.
Doing it. Huh?
It's from the Century.
Century.
Yeah.
But are they gonna touch on that?
Well, they're gonna do that, and plus, it's from the stuff that happened during Daredevil season, whatever the fuck, and all the stuff that they were doing with all the violence that was going on in the city, because they were rioting and they were doing a bunch of stuff. But it's supposed to be backlash from all this stuff that happened in Daredevil, and I don't know if that kicks all the way back to the Defenders, to what they were dealing with the Hand. But that's kind of why.
So that's why I think Daredevil's gonna be in it.
100%, he's in it. Yeah.
Like first of all, the Hand again. Spider-Man wipes the floor with the Hand. And it did bother me that we didn't get Wolverine versus the Hand before Spider-Man.
Yeah, we did. We got it in that fucking weird movie with the Silver Samurai bullshit. What was it called?
Wolverine 2?
Yeah. The shit
Was that the Hand?
That was 100% the Hand. Literally, the comic book is based on it with the arrows in his back and the chain.
In the movie lore, did they call them the Hand?
No, because it's the Silver Surfers group, but it's the Hand.
I know. But like we have to take it as it is.
Yeah, but if I was to say,
we know where the idea comes from. But
we 100% knew. And again, since they took that comic book cover and put it in that movie, you can't recreate it now because it's already been done. Now, if you do it, you're just gonna get compared to it, and that's it. Yeah. So that's the Hand, because the Silver Samurai. Name another ninja clan other than the Hand that's in the fucking Marvel comics. You're not going to tell me the Silver Samurai's clan because you don't know what they're called. And then you're going to be like, well, fuck it. It's the Hand, because all ninjas are the Hand in the fucking comic books. If not, it's the Foot, and that's the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, but the Foot came from the Hand.
The Hand, yeah, it's the body, bro. It's the body. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, and Daredevil fucking created the Ninja Turtles.
The Ninja Turtles were created because of Daredevil.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like
the same mutagen that covered his eyes covered them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I know. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that was written after, but yeah, I understand this.
No. The creator said that it was like his whole
100% he
inspiration was
did.
from Daredevil.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking Ninja Turtle guy. Of course he's gonna be like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, we're all connected to everything. But like,
No, like
But,
okay,
like,
look.
so Daredevil's gonna be in it. Look, and I'm kind of
Knees clenched.
not happy about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a theory that they're gonna do. I don't know if you were familiar with this, but there was a time where Captain America was a Hail Hydra one, right?
Yeah.
And there was a part where he was in charge of Thor, in charge of what's the not Sidorak, but the one that Scarlet Witch turns into, the fucking demon that she's a part of. I forgot the name of the demon
Mephisto?
No, the other one.
Like
There's another one, the Citadel one. The one that
was
wrote
it the
Darkhold.
was it the guy that turns into the mist?
No, let me look at it real quick. Well, you know what? Actually, Hulk control by I think they're gonna go with this series. So there is a part in the comic book where Hawkeye kills the Hulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is right
Yeah.
before Captain America goes evil and the Hulk is dead. What happens is when that happens, I'm gonna click on it here. Yeah, let me see if I can find this because it's very difficult to find because a lot of people didn't give a shit about it in the comic books. Well, the Hand wants the Hulk's body so that they can bring it back to life and use the Hulk. So Captain America helps it out because it's in the same area, or he uses the same technology to revise the Hulk to fight against Iron Man's new Avengers that are going against the Hydra Captain America. So like in that time, it's like evil. It's evil Hulk, dude. And the Hand is the purpose behind it. And I kind of don't want them to go this direction, but I feel like they are. And they're going to use that. They're going to use that part in the comic book and it sucks.
Did you hear that? Like, it hasn't been confirmed by the MCU, but the original plan was that during the 2012 incident, the Hulk is responsible for killing Peter Parker's parents.
Yeah, but it was Wolverine.
And it was Bruce Banner and Dr. Connors were the ones that developed
the lizard man,
the super spider that bit Tom Holland.
Yeah, they're the reason,
and that's why he goes to Bruce Banner instead of Dr. Connors.
Oh, in the film,
he's in ESU. In the trailer, he's in ESU, and that's where Dr. Connors works.
Yeah,
but again, we in this universe we probably don't have Dr. Connors lizard.
Yeah, again, they're switching everything like that, right?
Yeah, well, like one of your theories, I'm not sure if that will actually, just because he knows that that will like who the villains' names are, and he has a 1-up. It doesn't account for the pride and ambition of those guys before they're villains, because the scientists are like, okay, well, like let's say he's like, here's the serum for you to grow back your arm and not turn into a giant lizard. They're going to want to take that and amplify it even more their own way, right?
Yeah,
because like, okay, well, like we're gonna still do regeneration, but what if we get as strong as a lizard? Because like, so that we never even have to even feel, our arms cut off, and then he becomes an even bigger, lizard or whatever, or like, for instance, the Green Goblin, he didn't turn into the freaking goblin that we see in the comics, and so they could take that lore of like, we saw. What's the actor's name? I don't know why I'm spacing out on his name. The guy who plays the Green Goblin.
Oh, I forgot his fucking name too, bro.
Yeah, well, obviously he didn't turn into some different creature, right? Right? But what if it's like he goes to that Osborn, which apparently there's rumors that Matthew McConaughey is going to be Dr. Osborn, but I don't know.
Okay.
But if, let's say they take, no, not James Franco, his dad, saying Cap from the first Avengers and save Peter's parents from a deleted scene. Yeah, William Dafoe. Okay, So
Yeah,
William
Willem
Dafoe,
Dafoe.
let's say they cast William Dafoe again, and then they talk to that Norman Osborn, and he tells him like, here's the formula to make sure you don't go crazy. Awesome, I have a perfect formula mixed with my formula. What if I amplify this and it actually turns him into the goblin creature?
From the Ultimates universe.
Yeah, but like from the lore of that, of how it's turned, but like we get the actual look of, the purple suit and the actual goblin with the giant ears and whatnot, the yellow eyes.
Yeah, like the actual one that, like in the Ultimate
yeah.
universe, he takes the serum and it turns him into a big demon. And he
Yeah,
even
but
has
not turn
wings
him
and
into a
shit,
demon.
like,
It just actually turns him to the
into a
Green
goblin, like a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
fucking goblin.
Yeah, which would be sick. Which
Well, that would
okay
be
with.
cool, but you're just
Yeah.
bringing it closer to the Ultimate Universe, which, again, they kill off Spider-Man and they bring in Miles Morales, which is what I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah. Well, and by the way, just to let Vince know, like I know, but it's just a rumor. Again, they haven't confirmed any of this stuff, so it's just like speculation. Of like whether Hulk killed him or Cap saved him.
well, actually,
whatever.
recently in the comic books, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, Wolverine killed his parents.
I don't remember that, honestly. On which one? Like which comic run?
It's
Spider-Man
just
run?
it's actually just a recent one. I want to say like within
then
the last like
yeah.
maybe 2 months. Marvel
Yeah,
Wolverine.
I haven't been reading the recent
Oh, it
ones.
says Wolverine did not kill his parents, although recently in 2025, Priestley suggested he might have. While
Yeah,
in,
I don't care about 2025.
yeah, I don't fucking give a
Yeah,
jack
like,
ass about anything after
Yeah, yeah.
2015, bro. Like
You can suck it
2015
easy.
can eat my ass, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because it's all new, all different. I'm gonna say Marvel. I'm gonna show you the poster, and this is exactly where we're going in the movies after Slate, right?
Yeah.
This
No,
is
like,
where
what-
when they
yeah, I
do the
know the first
reboot,
Avengers
this is
movie.
where we're going. Like I can guarantee you, this is where we're going. This right here.
Mm,
We're going 100% here. And where's
F my life.
Spider-Man? You have Spider-Man, but you also have Miles, and you got Gwen, and you got Vision, and you got Miss Spider-Woman or whatever. You got Old Man Steve, you got Sam Wilson, you got this fucking Indian dude for no reason. Yeah, which I don't even know.
Representation, dude.
Yeah. This is
DI.
100%. 100% this is where we're going.
Dude, if they do
Hyperion's
that,
my
like,
favorite, dude.
we're
I'd be happy if they brought him, but they're not.
Dude, if they do that, we're done. That's so gay.
With who?
F that. If the MCU does this,
This is where they're going. Look, Jane Foster's here. She's still in Valhalla. I guarantee she's going to be the main Thor going into the new one.
well, they have to kill off. No, because well, we have to see with Doomsday. They're probably gonna kill everybody off.
Yep, but look, there's Sam Alexander. We're not even going to get a Richard Rider.
F that.
Yep, 100%. They're already talking about. Well, Gosling is going to be coming in as Ghost Rider, and they were talking about that kid from.
No, like Ryan Gosling was in original talks, versus
For
Nick
Nova.
Cage to be Ghost Rider.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he's
he was
still
a-
in talks, but I would like him to be Richard Rider. If not, the kid.
I thought they were taking the Ghost Riders from the Shield TV show.
Don't do it. Yeah, he's already in it.
Yeah.
I would like for them to bring in Gabriel De Luna. He's actually a really good actor, and that character was really good. But yeah, this is what we're looking at for Marvel going forward.
That is garbage.
This is
dude.
here, bro.
Nobody wants
You have
that.
you have
Nobody wants
her.
that.
She used to be a Inhuman. Now she's a Marvel mutant.
Dude,
Now,
she used to be retarded and she's still retarded. We don't want it.
yeah. There's Miles. There's Tony Stark without Tony Stark in it, which will probably be Ironheart. There's
Dude,
Vision.
Oh my,
who's
I
still
hate
Vision.
Ironheart. And I hate that we
Nah,
had
man.
Mephisto and Ironheart.
She's the best.
Mephisto is a
Bro.
bigger villain than Thanos. And they
Yeah.
just threw him in Ironheart like he's nothing.
Yeah.
And just like Galactus, just
I
threw him
love
in
it.
Fantastic Four like he's nothing. All villains that were bigger than Thanos. Freaking Galactus, Doom,
Oh, there it is.
freaking Morpheus,
There
even
it is.
Magneto. All these are bigger than Thanos, dude. Like, this
Yeah,
is
that
ridiculous.
much.
They don't know what they're doing. But like, okay, but to the Spider-Man trailer itself, I think oh my god.
There it is, bro.
Dude, take that off the screen.
Look at
Take
all
it
of these
off, dude.
great characters. Dude, to tell you the truth, I barely know half of these fucking people, dude. Like
They're
that's
not worth knowing.
that's the
Who cares,
Moon Girl.
man?
Look, you see this character right here? This was the girl that's smarter than Reed Richards. But
No.
not only her, she's smarter than
No.
Reed Richards.
Yeah,
Not
because they're
only
black,
her,
and apparently, if
he's
you're black,
smarter
you
than
just
Reed
get like the
Richards.
power of being better than everybody.
Yeah.
That's Marvel.
Who
If
the
you're black,
fuck
you're
is
just
this
better than
green guy?
everybody who's ever existed.
Look, who the fuck are these normie ass people over here in the corner? It's not even a
Just a
superpower.
dude that
That's
wanted a
easy.
picture. Hey, I have a gun. Can I get a picture with you?
That's got to be Quake.
How is Elektra still alive?
Yo, she's the fucking director of Shield, dude.
Is that supposed to be Cable?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh man, he's chilling, bro. Who the fuck is this? Is this Karnak or who the fuck is no? Who the fuck is this? Is that Blue Marvel? I don't even know who that is.
Remember, this is one of the reasons why I don't read new comics. Remember, they had I forgot, one of their superheroes that Marvel created was Safe Space.
Oh no, that's not him. I know who Safe Space and the other one is. What was the other girl?
That was no, it's Marvel.
Snowflake.
Yeah,
Snowflake and Safe Space.
It was they were for Marvel.
Yeah, I know, but they're not in this.
No, I know. But when I saw the pink, this loser over here.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
that's Gwen. That's Gwenum. Gwenpool.
That's gay.
That's Gwen Stacy. As
I want to
Gwenpool.
use other words, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's not. Right. There's Hail Hydra. This is fucking weird guy right here. I know he's from somewhere, but I forget it. It's Captain Britain. What the fuck is this giant hand in the back?
It's a foot, actually.
This?
Yeah.
No way.
Don't
There's
know what it is.
What the
Don't
fuck is that, dude?
Dude, I don't know, man. This,
but you know who's
this
not
doesn't
here?
look like Marvel at all.
Look, and I want you to
Looks
say,
like
you
a
know who's
really
not
bad fan fiction.
who's
Huh?
not here is Spider-Man.
Yeah, you got
I
Miles.
wonder why.
Cause black.
Because he's black. That's so funny. Yeah, they're gonna fucking. This is gonna be all new, all different when Marvel reboots. I know from what I've heard, they're gonna recast Captain America and they're gonna recast Iron Man for sure.
I'm okay with that. If we get somebody else than Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, or somebody else as instead of Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, I'm all right with that. Like, I think they should recast T'Challa too, because these characters are bigger than the actors who play him.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think anybody could do the same Tony Stark as Robert Downey Jr. has. But
true, I think he did
Tony
amazing.
Stark is only Robert Downey Jr. There's no comic where Tony Stark acts.
But even in that
Robert
concept,
Downey Jr.
like
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. as an actor, fucking acted his shit off, dude. He did good.
Oh yeah, he did a freaking phenomenal job.
Like every character deserves to have people that are willing to do that.
Be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, everybody.
I want to see if somebody's gonna play Tony Stark. You can't do it the same way Robert Downey Jr. did. You got to do it your way and closer to the comics.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, I think everybody deserves to have a really good opportunity to get out there and give it a try. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I remember the guy that played Jim in The Office. He auditioned for Steve Rogers against Chris Evans. He actually even put on the suit. But I think, just to finish off on the Spider-Man trailer, I think the Spider-Man trailer, there's a lot going on. I hope in the beginning of the film, he's like he's fighting Tarantula, he's fighting Boomerang, and he arrests them, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be like cool flashbacks.
I don't want to see the same problems that we got to see in Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3. And like I don't want to see those issues, right? Where like there's just too many villains in one thing.
Yeah.
Like what I want to see is like this movie should have been just Scorpion and Spider-Man, that's it. But this is the movie we're getting, and I think we are gonna get introductions of the X-Men, like Jean Grey. She might be the person that's like possessing bodies, or it might be Mephisto or Madam Web trying to guide him. You know, like,
Madam Web, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't want to see.
They're gonna reintroduce like the Spider-Verse some way.
Yeah. But I do want to see I'm okay with Madam Web if he's gonna be the human spider. Like, you know, and then there's like a lot of things. Like one thing I've been liking, as I see online. Hold on, can you riff off for a quick second? I gotta take care of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me
I
a
believe with
quick
what.
second.
Yeah. Go ahead. I believe with what Relic was gonna say, like, is there's a lot of easy concepts and understandings how the Spider-Man situation can go. Right, there is a part in the video, and we do still know that Sadie Sink, out of Stranger Things, still has an opportunity to be in the, or she still is in the film, and we haven't really been given anything about her character. There is a scene where there is a kind of like a warehouse with an open container that's being elevated, and you see someone in a chair that a lot of people are like, oh, that's Sadie Sink, or vice versa, to the idea of there's a part where there's a character with their hands open that looks very villainous. To me, it's a very villainous move that there's a lot of like that person is enjoying whatever it is that they're doing that might be malicious. Do I think it's Sadie Sink's character? If it is, I think she's going to be playing the Spider Queen, right? Let me go ahead and bring this up. Spider Queen Marvel, yeah. So Spider Queen in Marvel is a character that was kind of around for a minute. She's had not like big relationships, but she's had interactions with Spider-Man in the past. She is a mutant also. And yeah, she's able to telepathically control people also. She has that kind of power. And this character has been rumored to be a villain in the series recently. So a lot of people are starting to talk about it being that this might be the character that Sadie Sink is going to be. But again, you can see it in here that she's more of like, dark hair, not what Sadie Sink is popular for, the bright red hair. And a lot of people right now believe that Sadie Sink Marvel is going to be Jean Grey. Right? A lot of people are going with the idea that it's Jean Grey. Do I think it's Jean Grey myself? No, I really hope it's not Jean Grey, because that means they're going to be doing a reboot of the character. We are supposed to get the original Jean Grey actress from the Fox universe in the new series, or in the beginning of Doomsday. And then she's supposed to get taken out. And if they bring in Sadie Sink's character, I believe she's going to be, if it's a Jean Grey character, a time displaced or a multiversal displaced version of the one from First Class when she was younger. So kind of figuring out where she would be in First Class, being part of the Charles Xavier School for Mutants universe at the very, very beginning. So if they do, it could be the reason why she's able to go into different people's minds, right? But I don't know why it would need to be like a Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like a Body Snatchers version, where like the moment in the trailer Spider-Man grabs the tank and opens it, and it's this old lady, and she kind of like hips her face away, and then the mind swap happens, and then the person looks and kind of winks at Spider-Man and looks upwards and throws it up. Like there is like a distinct necessity to be in line of sight for this character to be able to take over other people's minds. And it's not multiple people, it's only one at a time. So maybe it could be like a cerebral situation. Maybe. I really hope it's not. If it's Jean Grey, it's gonna fucking piss me off. But
yeah, she's already cast as Jean Grey.
No, don't even say that. Because if she could be
Yep.
Spider Queen, dude. Like she 100% can be Spider Queen. She had telekinesis. She could control people. She was there during like one of the variations of Spider-Man changing into the spider variation of himself. Like
She could be. Do you really think they're smart enough to read the comics and pull those characters?
that would be the reason why I would say, like, then why would we have a Jean Grey and Spider-Man
Yeah,
team
I
up?
also don't.
You would
think
really
that-
need to fucking search comic books
Yeah.
to see that happen.
I also don't think it makes sense to have Jean Grey because they're gonna already kill the X-Men in Doomsday, and they're gonna do a reboot. So why introduce new characters right now?
Well, there is a comic
Yeah.
book during that kind called The Champions, and the Champions was all the kids, the young Avengers. So maybe, yeah. Again, I'm really dumb at this, dude. Like my autism kicks in so much. So I know a bunch of useless things for no good reason, but other than this, So
You've wasted so much of your life reading garbage
reading these
comics.
fucking comic books, bro. So this is the Champions, which is it's all the younger coursed Avengers, and in that there is a displaced. Let me go back. I just saw his stupid ass. Yeah, I guess here there's a displaced Cyclops because he was from a universe where the Avengers were younger. And they brought him in, and he became a part of the Champions. And they even brought back Jean, if I'm not mistaken. And these guys run into Old Man Logan, and then they all live together as like a new multiversal version of the X. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really fucking sucks. Because
Vince, I think the Punisher will be the most cosplayed because all the other cosplays would be too simple.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you just everybody dresses as the Hand or whatever.
Yeah, just put a loincloth over your face.
Yeah, so they made this comic book called The Champions, and these groups were it was literally the Teen Titans of the group. And what they did was, it was probably during, when was this? It had to be before. Oh yeah, there it is. Look, there's Cyclops. And, who was in charge was,
Chris, do you hate me, dude?
No, I don't hate you. What the fuck?
Why the freak are you showing me these garbage comics? Why are you wasting my time?
We must
like
know.
This?
We must to know our enemy. We must dwell in our enemy's positions.
My enemy can suck me sideways.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
can
doing
suck it, dude. And this is why, like, when they were like, "Oh man, she's gonna be Jean Grey," and I was like, "No, dude," because
I don't think she looks
Champion.
I don't want her to be, but you know, like, okay. Here's the thing: when my sister went to high school, right? I was out of high school. My youngest sister.
Mm-hmm.
I've always hated the argument of like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like, oh, why does everybody look 30? I'm like, dude, when I was going to high school, people looked 40. Like, we had behemoths. I knew a guy who was 6'5" and he was 13 years old. 6'5".
I knew a dude that was 20 that couldn't graduate from high school because he was retarded.
Yeah, and I had my brother could go a full-grown beard at 11, like, dude, like terrorist style beard, like thick, not patchy, and like everybody was freaking massive, dude. They were huge.
Yeah,
like
they didn't have any good children actors that could pull off roles that big.
No, but like I thought it made sense. Like to me, like this looks like my high school when I watched Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you know, but when my sister got in, right, everybody was freaking twinks. Like the sports team sucked because everybody was tiny, and a bunch of girls were liking all these freaking fruity,
thin, skinny guys.
I was gonna say
unmasculine. Let's just say unmasculine.
Unmasculine queer dudes, and I like a lot of the girls like no longer had curves. You know, no longer like they had the small round face but nothing body.
Yeah, they're small. Petite or whatever.
And so now it's like Hollywood looks for like Tom Holland I don't think he was the worst choice for Spider-Man, but you know, he looks young in everything that he does. Zendaya looks young in everything that she does. They don't strike me as 30-year-olds. I don't know how old they are, but
well, for me, you know it's okay that it works in this because the comic books, they never fucking age.
Yes, but like the comic books, women are very feminine in the comic books, you know.
Yeah. Because it's like, dudes who made them,
Yeah, but women like that exist though, and in Hollywood definitely exists like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like for instance, the chick that was the original Jean Grey in the, you know, they did the adult version, the X-Men movies.
Yeah, she's a full-grown woman, man.
She was not only full-grown, very feminine and hot, and then they picked the chick from Game of Thrones that looked like just didn't like. She was supposed to be 40 in the events of Days of Futures Past and Dark Phoenix. You're supposed to be like 50. I'm like, you look like a teenager.
Yeah. They never do that for them in the comics either.
Like they need to have a sensual feminine aura. They don't need to be sexual, but they need to have like that gravity about them. Like if I see Halle Berry, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
you then you take into consideration, right? Like you look at reality, and no girl that I mean nowadays probably a little bit more. There's a higher percentage, but like
What?
no one that has that kind of physique or body is like a masculine character that goes and saves the day, or does military shit, or does combat situations. Like most of them are like
Yeah, because they're all
the
bush
saving
lesbians.
grace. Yeah,
You
they're
know?
like they're
'Cause they
waiting
can't.
for the white
They
knights to
like
come and
they
save
could.
them.
No guy liked them, so they had to become lesbians, and then they had
Yeah,
to like start acting like dudes. But
so
well,
that's my push against
well,
it. But like it's
you
it's
gotta you
because
gotta
it's a
go.
double edged
You gotta go
sword, right?
Brazil, because they're like good-looking women are tough over there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta
that's
go
a
Brazil.
fucking yeah. But these movies are made in Brazil. Like that's you know what I mean. There's not a lot of
But
fucking
like,
superhero
walk, take a
New
walk.
York situations over there, man. Nah, but yeah, I don't think Sadie Sink is gonna play Jean Grey because that's already way too fucking
I
much in
hope
this
she
movie.
doesn't.
Yeah,
But if she does, it's like, okay, what are they gonna do with it?
yeah,
I
it
again,
just
I
doesn't make
think
sense to me unless it's going to be one X-Men character displaced in every film till Secret Wars. I could see
yeah.
maybe something like that, and then you're gonna put them. They're gonna survive
I forget
into.
that Secret Wars is even happening
Yeah, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
because it's nothing like the comic Secret Wars. I forget
Yeah,
that that's even gonna be a thing. I thought Doomsday was it. Like, and
Typhoid
I knew
Mary.
about Secret Wars, but as soon as I hear Doomsday, I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. Mary and
Because like
Brandon,
even
what?
Typhoid Mary is like a multiversal or a clone of Mary Jane. Look, they just or not Mary Jane, but is it Mary Jane or Jean Grey? Typhoid
Jean
Mary?
Grey.
Is that Jean Grey?
Yeah.
It's one of the three because there was a Madeline Pryor also.
Yeah, well,
Look,
Madame
they just need to
Pryor is
not do
made
that.
by Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, they just need to not do any of that. They need to not have Jean Grey because it doesn't make any
Look,
sense.
You want to know what Disney Marvel, the greatest thing they've done since Endgame, or I guess Infinity War, other than
Take
the
a
Spider-Man
huge
movies,
fucking
which is
break
Sony?
and not put anything out.
No, you know what they actually did good was the X-Men 97 cartoon TV show.
Except for that they gave Magneto and Charles Xavier this weird like sexual like tension between each other.
I don't think they gave him sexual tension.
100,000,000%, bro. They're practically making out in the Magneto mine scene, dude. Like these guys are
What?
way closer than that's like a weird
That
romance.
I did not grasp that at all. Like,
I did. I didn't like it. It felt weird. Like I
Dude,
understand
you're
them
around
being
too many
friends.
gays, dude.
I understand them being friends, but like those guys were, I don't know, a little too close. And then there was they kind of.
I didn't like the feminine stuff about like Gambit, like the clothing, like
Nah, he was. Oh yeah, there was that part too. But
Yeah,
then that's like he was a
like
dude
crop
back
top.
in the 90s, 80s. That's the same shit that Sylvester Stallone wore in Rambo. Not Rambo, Rocky. He wore the little
but
the
not
cut shorts
pink.
and.
Not pink.
I mean, he was still wearing that shit. I could
Like,
probably
I
show you a
think
million
I
photos
think
right
the
now.
only thing
Hulk
that they
Hogan
did
and
that-
shit. Apollo Creed wore the same thing.
Well, yeah, I think the only thing they did that was gay was making what's it, Morph being attracted
Morph was pretty gay.
to Wolverine.
Yep.
And like you could play it off as not, but it's too much. Like they shouldn't
I
have done
mean,
that.
not only that, they had to have a fucking scene where Magneto's all fucking zip tied to a wall, like in his underwear. And then they had to do, well, when he's in his fucking swimsuit, which was the director.
I thought
The thing he liked to do in his OnlyFans stuff. The what?
Oh yeah, I forgot the director had an OnlyFans.
Yeah, he's kind of weird. Yeah, he's a weird
scandal,
motherfucker, dude. Remy
Yeah.
or I've heard DeBow or I forgot his name, but the other thing was the Rogue and Magneto thing, the pedophilia, because Rogue was a minor, and he was like
in the show.
Yeah, she's a fucking high school dude. Yeah, you go watch Rogue's age, Rogue's.
I thought
age
Rogue was already an
in
adult
X-Men 97.
by the time they had a relationship.
Well, she was probably like in her mid-20s, I guess you could say, or in her 20s.
Yeah.
But they had relationships when he was going to the school when she was a student. She was okay. It says context. She is significantly younger than Magneto, who is 60, but older than the newer mutant member like Jubilee. Where does that put her?
Yeah, that just puts her at like 20, 25.
And you don't think it's kind of weird with the 60 part, with her being 60,
Well,
maybe in her 20s?
like, but you know,
No, I'm just saying.
like, I'm not getting mad at Hugh Hefner.
But you should. But
What
fuck
happened
that
to this
dude.
country?
Yeah.
What happened to this country?
Yeah. But I don't know.
Like, hey, man, if you powerful and rich,
Yeah,
go after
I
who
don't
you
know.
want,
It's
you know?
because it ranges in situations because it's easy for the writers to do that. But the thing is Rogue, when she gets into the mutant
Yeah.
academy, she's like 15, and Magneto was kicked out like slightly younger than that, and knew Rogue when she was a child. And it's
No,
it's
yeah,
factored in the
like,
comics that it's written that he grooms her.
yeah.
Yeah, so that I mean, even with that, it had to have
But
started
like,
before she was
I
20s.
think the intention to groom her was to just, use her on his side, right? And
Yeah,
then
that's
and
weird.
then uh, it's still weird. I'm not saying grooming is a good thing, but I'm saying is that like the whole love interest thing later on that happened, like
In the comic
made
books, Rogue is
yeah.
16 at most of the Savage Land incident, where Magneto is 55.
Yeah. But that's not when they have a relationship.
Yeah, that's when he started like courting her.
Yeah, but it was to get her to like switch alliances, not to like actually do anything romantic.
Still weird.
Still weird. Agreed. Agreed.
It's like the Captain Marvel son that rapes her, and the Avengers are cool with it. I don't even
Or
remember that
who
one.
was it? Woody Allen that like married his adopted
Stepdaughter.
daughter. Yeah,
Yeah, stepdaughter, adopted
when she
daughter.
was a baby.
In the
Yeah.
comic books, Captain Marvel is impregnated by a future version of her son who gives birth to himself.
Yeah.
And the Avengers are cool with it. They're like, oh, well, I guess if you guys are in love or whatever. Yeah, it's so fucking. I'm telling you, it doesn't
Wait,
just because it's in the
what year
comic
was
books.
this? Excuse me?
Yeah, it had to have been in the 90s, bro. But like again,
That's disgusting.
just because it's written in the comic books or it's done this way, it doesn't make it right when it's like a black mark on the history. And I think,
Yeah,
in my
like
opinion, in the X-Men
like
series,
there's no
the
year
relationship with
that's
Magneto.
perfect.
Yeah, I think the Magneto
Yeah.
relationship with Rogue was like a black spot in the comic books. Because
Yeah.
again, it started off when you look at the X-Men kids and they don't
Mhm.
age. So you automatically assume they're always in high school, except for old man Logan, who, again, this guy's disgusting too because he keeps falling in love with Jean Grey, who's like a fucking child, and he's
Yeah,
like
which
300
again,
years old.
that's why I think the movies have they don't have an excuse to screw up, because they could take all the content and filter out the crap and actually make a path to the best storyline.
To the best
right?
storyline.
Like for
Yep.
instance, I do want to see the X-Men in high school. I like the X-Men Evolution cartoon,
Yeah, it's really good.
but if you're gonna do the Logan and Jean Grey relationship,
Can't.
Bryan Singer did a good job where like all the X-Men are not in high school. X-Men have to be out of high school to
Yeah.
utilize their powers in the way they're doing. And Jean Grey was like 30 when she met Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, Bryan Singer
know what I
also
mean?
did molest a young man.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
let's not fucking let's not give
Did
this
he,
guy any
is he-
flowers.
wait, did he actually go to jail for it, or like?
Nah, he's fucking
Was
above
it-
that because he's a director.
Well, he's
Makes
not
too much
directing
money.
anything right now.
Yeah, they can
But
call it,
wait,
but
but
nobody's
wait,
gonna
was it
remember that
was
shit.
it proven? Was it proven that he actually did it or no?
I don't remember too much because I didn't really get into it, but I do remember that
Or
he was
or
called
is it
out
like a
multiple
Kevin
times.
Spacey situation where, you know,
Well, I know he
people
was called
kept
out and that
mysteriously
he's never really come
disappearing?
back from it because that was like the last thing he ever did in Hollywood.
What? Phoenix? Oh no,
Yeah.
not Phoenix.
No, the fucking X-Men 3, the first set.
No, he didn't do X-Men 3. He did Superman Returns. The same
Did
guy
he?
that did Dark Phoenix did the
Yeah,
last
because that's
one.
when he was called out, wasn't he? Didn't they start calling him out around that time?
I don't know when he got called out. I honestly
Yeah.
don't.
I want to say that they called him out later on because they didn't know that he was doing that shit.
But I know we keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But no, it's fine. Like this is what comics are. Like this is the nerd stuff I like to like talk about, like the positive and like what's good, the lore wise, everything. That's why like when Amityville, sorry if I forget your name, why like just because a comic did or say something doesn't mean we have to take that as gospel, because there is
Yeah.
a line of like this is the character, right? This is this doesn't take away from the character being someone or something else. It just takes away Sir M.I. Ville. Is it E or A? So that's why like I think like web shooters, you can't say it's the same thing as Superman killing somebody. It
True.
doesn't take away from his character. It's just a different way to use the same power, but it's not egregious. It's just a preference. You know what I mean? You know, like yeah. But I think the Spider-Man trailer it did not only
Vile.
do
Am I
a
vile?
great am I vile?
Yep.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah, as you were
the
saying,
answer
the
is
Spider-Man trailer, I think it did good. I think it kind of gave some kind of like, I'm anticipating it more. Me and myself,
yeah, like I'm not saying
I'm
I
ready.
want to go to the theaters. Like I'm waiting till it comes out. But it got me interested in this Tom Holland Spider-Man. It's the first time I've been interested in his Spider-Man.
In a long time, right?
No, at
Ever?
all. I've never cared. Like after I saw him in Civil War, I was a little bit interested. Then I saw Homecoming, and I was like, "Oh, Homecoming is a good, well-written movie. This is not Spider-Man. This is Iron Lad. This is Iron Boy.
Yeah.
You know, like this isn't what I see Spider-Man as. You know, even if I hated the TASM Spider-Man, but that was more Spider-Man than Tom Holland was, right? But this is the
Mhm.
first time we actually get to see him being really close to the comic Spider-Man that we all know. The problem is Zendaya and Ned always being involved in the story. And again, there is a lot of villains in this new movie.
Yep.
And I really hope they do put away, like he arrests a few villains and then it's like the Scorpion and the Hand is the main thing,
Yeah.
you know.
That'd be cool.
And I do agree with you. Like, I don't want to see Daredevil. I just want a solo Spider-Man film with no cameos, no Bruce Banner, just all Spider-Man characters in Queens, being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
It'd
But
be good.
I think the tone of the the trailer was really good. It made me ask a lot of questions, and that's what trailers are supposed to do. And it makes me interested in the movie. So I'm glad the trailer came out.
Sure.
I do think it's weird that it only came out 3 months before the release.
Yep.
But Spider-Man name alone already has the hype. They already has the marketing just in the name. So
True.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So, yeah, we'll see
I
how it
still
works.
don't care about Doomsday though. Still don't care.
Oh yeah. Doomsday doesn't really have my voice either, man. So,
Well,
but
what are the other Marvel projects that are coming out after Spider-Man?
who the fuck knows? I don't even know. But yeah, we'll have to see. They really haven't made any like. They just said I think Thor has a project coming out. Thor 4. Doctor Strange doesn't. That one got canceled, and I think we're jumping into the next Daredevil with the Defenders.
Yeah,
so a lot of the characters coming back.
Also like people are saying that you have to watch Daredevil 2
What's up, Chew? What's up, Mark?
because our season 2 that maybe Tom Holland Spider-Man makes a cameo in
Yeah, I'm not
Daredevil
gonna watch
season
it.
2. I don't think it's gonna happen. That still won't get me to watch Daredevil season 2. I'll wait till like other YouTubers review it and then I'll go check out the scene or maybe watch an episode, but I'm not.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Are you gonna watch Daredevil season 2?
Fuck, I'm gonna have to really push myself, dude, because I could give two rats ass about that show. Because the other season that came out was bad. The Born Again was bad.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, and they brought in Muse, and I didn't even think Muse was like a legitimate villain from the comic books enough to really do anything. But they were like, "Oh yeah, bro, Muse." I was like, "This guy sucks, dude."
Well, like every time something comes out, you get all these dude bros that are apparently an expert on this.
Yeah, because they don't read comics.
Hero that they never read a comic in their life, but they're trying to be like all popular online, like, oh, in the comics it did this. Like, yeah, I could also Google search as well, but I was there when this character was created, and I gotta tell you, nobody cares. Like,
yeah, no
you saw these people like, this is just like the Wonder Man comics. Like, I have never met a person in my life that's read a Wonder Man comic. I know there's fans out there, but like, you're not gonna convince me you, a 14-year-old kid, like, is the expert on Wonder Man. There's no way. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be weird, yeah. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know what's really coming out, but we'll have to see what's up. But yeah, I guess we can call it there. We're about almost 3 hours in. I'm ready to call it a night. You look like you're ready to call it a night. Look like it's hot as balls in that garage.
I got my fan going.
Yeah, you gotta have that
I was
shit
fanning
blowing
my
at you
balls
so
too. I was
close.
like,
Yeah, man. I gotta order you a better fan or something, man.
no, like it's funny enough. Like yesterday, like it was actually really cool in the garage, so I was like, pretty excited about it. And
Nice.
today it got hot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's all good. But yeah, excellent show. We'll have to see what happens. Again, shout out to Chuck Norris. You know, go out there, beat death and beat everybody like you always do. I think I saw a picture of him at his own funeral carrying his own casket. So yeah, that had been rad. Yeah, and we'll have to see what happens with the Spider-Man stuff and all that stuff. So we'll have to see what happens next week. Yeah. Crimson Desert is out for PC and console. It's a good game. The beginning
Yeah,
part
probably
sucks,
won't
but it
play
gets way better. Yeah, the beginning part's good, and then the rest of it sucks. And yeah, but I hope Relic, I hope you have a good fucking week. Hope you kick
Yeah,
ass
hope
and
you have
everything
one
goes
too.
good. I hope I'm gonna fucking we gotta stay positive, baby.
yeah.
Stay positive, bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? I got my guy fighting in 2 weeks, so we got a lot of shit going on, and one of my kids might be boxing
yeah.
this weekend. So staying busy. But yeah. To everybody out there that's still watching, we appreciate every one of you. To all our extraordinary listeners, we appreciate that you guys come in every week. Everybody that's in the comment section, the answers, Derpy, and all the guys that are on that side of town. Thank you so much for jumping in and hanging out with us. Relic, thank you so much. Guys, don't forget, you can find Relic on Instagram. I posted it up earlier in the chat, like Derpy stuff. And you go to YouTube, type in The Last Relic, and his stuff will pop up. Look for his logo. It's on his Instagram.
I'm on Kick as well, but I'm mainly on YouTube.
There you go, boys, girls, and you do stuff during the week, so that's even cooler. So it's not just today; you do stuff all week. Not like me, I'm a lazy.
Yeah, I live stream. This past few weeks not as much, but I usually try to live stream every night, and like I'll post some videos every now and then.
Good shit, good shit. So guys, go check him out. The Last Relic YouTube. Go check it out. Relic, appreciate you, brother. See you again next week, hopefully, God willing.
Next week, yeah.
We'll do another Sunday show. We'll kick it. Hopefully, there's cool stuff to talk about as usual.
Well, there's probably gonna be like all these Spider-Man stuff coming.
I hope, dude. I hope there's something because it's been dry as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
it's been
funny
dry.
Enough, we haven't even heard anything about Spider Noir.
Yeah, no shit. And we were just talking about that like a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some more, guys. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys again here next Sunday Average Voice podcast. We'll see you guys later. Peace
out, guys.